And he's still a very good-looking man, but his parents are very good-looking people too. Hello to Michael and Marissa if they're listening this afternoon. Opening quarter thanks to Harvey Norman. We're underway. Here's Jason Doherty.
Walsh goes up early, can't get it down. Knott's there as well. Right in the glue pot, tried to get it out. The footy's already got a bit of mud on it. Jack Blood tried to get the ball away. It's going to be a free kick come back to St Mary's, and it will be, I think, to Maloney, is it?
It is. Mr. Powell.
Yes, Mr. Powell, Beamer, pin-up boy. And he's got it at the back end of the centre square, as we said, kicking to the southern end in his first term, St Mary's. And he's called to play on now. He's going to go with a left foot kick towards half forward. Long lead out there, no mark taken. St Mary's have got the numbers two at the bottom of the pack. Can they get the ball out? Lang's across there. And also Paul Peck's son, Lockie, gets across there as well, close to the boundary line. Marnie, can he keep it in? He tried to get it back. St Mary's at the numbers at the back. Travellini, handball, not wrapped up straight away. And the tackle came from Learson and held to him in front of the scoreboard. Minute played in the opening term, and we have a ball up on the outer side.
We'll get some more Back Gully Plant Farm matchups in a moment. 201 Townsend Road in Woolwich. It's going to be a free kick in the ruck contest, and it's going to go which way? It's going to go to Knott against Henry Walsh, who's back after missing the last two or three. And Nick Knott with the footy. Of course, the former St Albans big man Nick Knott kicking towards left half forward, goes over the head of Peck and rolls to the boundary line where Maloney will keep it alive for the St Mary's. Handball back to Damien McMahon, who kicks on the outside of his right boot to the pocket, back with the flight. Peck couldn't complete the mark. Ball at ground level. McMahon was there, couldn't take it. Orgarinos slung as he kicked. Not a bad effort, but has pushed it across the face and through for a minor score. So the first score of the afternoon is a behind. It's to Max Orgarinos of St Mary's, and they lead on the first quarter K-Rock Harvey Norman scoreboard. One behind. Colac yet to score.
So Simpkin with the kicking and duties for the Tigers this afternoon at this early stage. He's going to come short into the back pocket. It's okay. Finds Joffe. So Simpkin to Simpkin. Goes up the ground towards Garner. Gets pushed past it by Jasker. Over the back, Learson. Can he keep it in? He can't. He greyhounded along centre wing too to try and keep it in. Couldn't do so though, and we're going to have a boundary throw in. Right on centre wing.
Interesting rotation real early. Cody Spokes off with a 1 minute 55 mark, which was really interesting.
So back into play. Walsh from behind. Blood in the front. Left foot torpedo punt towards half forward. Colac got the numbers but no mark taken. Comes inside 50 now for St Mary's. The ball comes back out to Orgarinos. He gets the handball back. Blood runs into a tackle. Drops the footy. Umpire says yes. And I think Renitz was the first man with the tackle, and he's going to take the free kick at half back.
He goes short. Renitz on the bow through the legs of Lang as he tried to take it on the half volley. Keith cleaned up, gave a handball to Orgarinos, who's been busy early. A high kick. It'll float towards the right forward pocket, looking for a mark. Good spoil came from behind. From Colac knocking it out of bounds. Might have been Malikan, the skipper, sending it out of play. And we'll get a boundary throw in the right forward pocket. St Mary's in attack, swimming pool or Don Matheson Pavilion into the ground where the past players' day is rocking along here at Anthony Costa Oval. Christensen to do the ruck work, a shallow throw, and he won front position and the tap down. Stevens a clearing kick for Colac, I should say. Bouncing ball. Felikos couldn't take it. Garner slick hands, gave it to Felikos. Tied against the boundary line. Goes looking for Williamson. Spoil Goodling. No. Chopping of the arms is the decision. And Williamson from Cobden has got the free kick for Colac.
He goes towards half forward with the kick. He goes towards the front of the pack. No, Mark Zidbell came out. Now comes back, and Travellini just takes it back for St Mary's. Back towards the 10-metre square defensively. They're going to be able to set the play up. Kick comes into Knott at half back. He gives the handball back. McMahon followed it up from the kick previously. Goes towards Peck. Big pack on centre wing. Now Connors gives it away by hand. Maishman gets through. Right little foot kick over the top. Missed the target though. Harry McMahon has to get back there. Came from Lockie Simpkin. Kick off the ground. Back into the glue pot. Maishman meets him as well. Straight through. Great pick up. Marnie to the side. The ball sits in the mud though. Goes towards Connors. He can't take the mark either. Colac might be able to get out the front. Williamson gives the handball away. Okay, Hewland, 65 out, kick towards the goal square. Garner, Jasker in front does well, and he's going to be able to break away with the left foot. Short little kick though, only as far as McGuan. His handball over the top, and Pack develops big tackle. The umpire's going to come in. Ball moving freshly as you'd expect, 1v2, and we're going to have a ball up 35 out from the Colac goal.
That's a good Wombat Gully Plan Farm matchup. I reckon they'll Falcons premiership teammates Jasker and Garner. Tap is beautiful in the ruck. Bell dragged off the footy. Marnie couldn't get a kick away through traffic. Some areas will look to clear, and the kick is good for McMullen towards left half back. Walsh with a big spoil for Colac, sends it out of bounds, and we'll get a boundary throw in at right half forward. Wombat Gully Plan Farm, 201 Townsend Road in Moolap. Kirsch.
Just a couple for you, Kingy. Garner v Lang is a really nice one. That one, Maloney v Marnie. I tell you what, we've got some nice head-to-heads in there. And Orgarinos and Stevens is another nice one around the ground as well.
Ball back into play. We'll get to in a moment. Kirsch from behind. Walsh winning the tap down. Damien McMahon hit the footy ball hard for some areas. Slung by Felikos, but got a handball off. Clearing kick might have been Keys towards the outer wing. Bouncing ball. Harry McMahon through traffic over handball to Jared Garner. Garner of St Mary's kicking out of half forward, but not a great kick. Standing tall, taking the mark is Renitz. He'll quickly get onto his left boot. Goes short and finds Lockie Simpkin, who marks a kick that barely went 15.
Back into centre wing, or kick underneath. Terrible. Keast couldn't take it. Marnie could. Second good pick up in a couple of minutes. Tumbles the punt to half forward. Travellini back there. Gets across, little right foot kick out. Saw Damien McMahon out of the corner of his eye. On defensive 50. He chips the ball around the corner. Can they keep it in? Connors wrapped up. Felikos gets there. Back to McMahon. Off a step. High right foot kick. Outside of the right boot, back towards centre wing. Might sit okay for St Mary's, or Christensen's holding his shoulder. We'll keep an eye on that. Pritchard goes towards centre half forward, but the Tigers are going to be able to come back the other way. Gore will go short.
Gore's short kick is okay onto the chest of Dusty Walters. Walters just back of the wing, broadcast side. Laterally he goes to Lockie Simpkin. Simpkin at the edge of the centre wicket turf table. Sends it very wide on the bounce. It'll be taken. Chance here for McCarthy. That's Ben kicking and leading. Garner down low, takes a good mark. So Garner quickly wants to get on with it, pulls the trigger on the kick. That's not a bad effort. He might have kicked it, actually. What a wonderful finish. Well, he sort of just got on with it quickly, and I don't know whether was that a pass intended and he's got a good piece of it and kicked the goal for Lammy's Tavern.
It's like a 9-iron, wasn't it?
He's put it through either way. Good finish from Adam Garner. 1 straight 6. That gives him now for the season 32 from 10 starts. And St Mary's are one behind. Opening quarter, K-Rock, Harvey Norman scoreboard.
Yeah, it was very quick movement out to him, and that's just goal sense, isn't it? Just having a shot at it, or he was obviously confident to have a shot at it. But we've seen some good goals from that pocket this year, and
the Lockie Peck,
pocket, son of Paul,
That's
yes,
right.
And there's very gettable goals in that pocket. That's where you want to be kicking them from.
So back to the middle, Knott and Walsh, who goes up early. Knott gets it down, Rove, up the chimney with the kick, and punched away by Keast towards Cole. Handball on the up. Blood rides the bump, rides the tackle, gets the handball out. Harry McMahon pushed it on. Colac running backwards. Can they get it now? Lang with the don't argue on the left foot kick around the corner towards centre wing. Best seats in the house thanks to Apco Cafe 24/7. Pritchard got it away by hand. Goes towards half forward. Numbers with St Mary's. Cole gets a clearing right foot kick towards son of Peck. But getting back there and taking the mark was McCormack at half back for Colac.
McCormack short on the bounce. It's taken by Gorwell. Gorwell at centre half back swings a kick very, very wide. It's a well-weighted ball. And the mark taken out there by Scott. Scott a handball over the top. Renitz kicking on the right boot now towards half forward. It's a skidding ball. Pick up was okay. Simpkin a handball that released into the path of Aaron Walters. Chance now with a little left foot kick. Spokes onto the chest of Garner, who got some space in front of Jasker and marks on the chest.
He's got the job ahead of him, Jasker, in size. He doesn't want to get caught out in that one-on-one battles, yet Garner's so good on those first couple of metres on a lead as well.
Adam Garner just concentrating on GFL footy this year after spending some time with the VFL Cats since graduating the Falcons. Will kick from just on 50, so the distance won't be an issue for him, and it's not. He kicks a goal. All those claims of touch, though, it is touched on the line. Goal umpire in better position than us, and that will be a minor score for the Tigers, who are now 1-1-7. St Mary's are one behind. Nearly 9 minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock this opening quarter of K-Rock football. K-Rock football thanks to Epco Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
So Travellini from full-back kicking in duties for the home side. Long kick. Looks for Knott. Walsh is there. McCormack comes at pace as well as a hold. And it's going to come back to St Mary's, to Nick Knott at half-back. He's going to give the handball away to Dowling, who's come onto the ground from the bench and playing on the wing at the moment. Gives it to Blood. He handballs it back. Ling runs through half-back. Short little kick. Gets it towards McMahon. Wheels and goes in the middle. Thought about the handball and then got wrapped up. Still got it away. Might be okay. Needs some support. Comes back to Blood. Finds some space through the middle. Wonky little right foot kick forward to centre circle. But at the back there, Walsh for Colac. High kick towards Zybella. Goes back. Can't take the mark at half forward. Ball spills to the side of the pack. He's still on hands and knees too, the big fella. Tries to get it out. Now it's a free kick. It is. It's coming back. And Aaron Walters will take it for Colac.
Walters in the long sleeves this afternoon. One of 3 or 4. Learson, Lang and Williamson among them. Oh, inside 50
mark.
McGuan. That is a wonderful mark. A Hamlin hanger contender in a one-on-one against McMullen. It's no mean feat. Trent McMullen is a very good one-on-one defender. But McGuan, with all his experience, games now into the 260s for the Tigers at senior level, and he's taken a mark there and a chance to kick the Tigers second. McGuan coming off 3 goals against St Joseph's from just, actually 5 shots at goal from just 9 possessions against St Joseph's in the clash at the Central in round 12, and this for a little 12-point buffer in the early stages of this match of the day on K-Rock football. He's missed that to the near side, though. That's a disappointing finish from Jake McGuan, and the margin is 7. So 1-2-8. Colac, St Mary's 1 behind as we approach 11 minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there is no better way to travel.
Travellini kicks in, looks for Dowling. Oh, good mark at half back in front of Hewland. And bigger and stronger. Took it the grab. Plays on now. Wants to go down the line. Towards centre wing, not 13 line. Punched by Walsh backwards 20 metres. Tapped on towards Garner. His kick was partly smothered. Getting across there, McCormack. Wrapped up. Handball straight to Orgarinos. Unfortunately for him, he plays for St Mary's. Goes to the open goal square. Getting back there, Gorwell. Good mark. Fingertipper as well in the back pocket. And he's going to chip the ball over the top. He's asked Cooper Stevens to run onto it, and he's taken the mark at half back.
Stevens, who stepped away from Carlton's VFL program in the last month or so, committed his time to Colac, and a very handy addition with the injury to Liam McCarthy. His kick to the wing goes through hands towards Adam Garner of Colac. He couldn't complete the mark. They're now fighting for the footy. Walsh on hands and knees, knocked it out towards Williamson, who gave it to Garner. Garner sends Colac into attack. 1-on-1, McGuan front position. Pritchard at the front of the pack for St Mary's was good. Swings onto his left boot, the Yarrawonga product. Kicks to the wing. He went looking out there for Knott, was knocked away by Walsh. Learson from Colac at clean, had it knocked. Handball to Gore that was knocked away, and it's forced to spillage, and St Mary's will go towards forward 50. Harry McMahon tried to knock it into the path of Saw Giovanni. Saw Giovanni's handball, though, missed its target, and Colac should be able to clean up and get out of trouble. They do, and the kick out to Spokes is nice. So
he's got it just inside the centre square. He goes to the right foot kick, long and wide. Williamson over the front. That's a good mark, Jasker. Pay that umpire, and he has. So he's taken the mark at half back. In fact, it was in front of Williamson. And he goes short with the kick, just 15. Ling has got it, still at half back. And much movement forward.
That's for him.
They're pretty stagnant. He goes long to the outer side centre wing in front. That was a hold. Walsh got a hand to it. And not in front was held on to. He will take the free kick.
Interestingly, it's his 3rd free kick against.
Yeah, Knott's agility is just
absolutely.
Pritchard with the right foot kick, but they're breaking down at half forward here, the Saints. And they're going to be able to run again from behind there. Bailey Scott's got it for the Tigers.
He comes wide looking for Walters. That's Dusty taking a good mark in front of Connors. He'll chip one over the top because he's got some run from Hewland, and he puts it out in his path. Hewland now will straighten up on his left boot, pull the kick to the top of the square, got through to Williamson off hands, stepped through the oncoming defender and kicked a wonderful goal. Pritchard came at him to smother the kick. He did the evening 2-step to the left and said, I'll kick the goal. And Williamson, that's a Lammy's Tavern goal of the day contender. And Colac go to a 13-point lead. 2-2-14. Their Archbishop, Desmond, may he rest in peace. 1 behind St Mary's in this opening quarter of K-Rock football, thanks to Harvey Norman.
You might hear us talk about this throughout the call a few times today, but it's a difference in forward lines because they're a marking forward line, so they rely on their marks inside forward 50. So when you look at Colac's forward 50, they're always on the move. They're hitting up or they've got numbers out the back looking for that mark. And at the other end, they're hoping for that scatter ball, that chaos ball. So we're going to see 2 different forward lines functioning today, and it seems to be working for Colac's forward line.
Changing the ruck now. Zybell goes up against Christensen. Zybell gets it down. Garner extracts the footy, gives it away to Travellini, who came off half back inside 50. Peck comes out. Good mark. Hamlin hanger at centre half forward. Paul Peck. So I call him Paul Peck all the time. Lockie
That's
Peck.
our own fault, really.
I know, we've set him up now.
Yeah.
Paul loves it too.
Quarter time at the MCG. Collingwood 26, North Melbourne 26 for Leopold's Boys.
Game on. Go Kangas.
Willikers.
So Lockie Peck has the footy 50 out from goal, and he actually was shooting some of these in the warm-up this afternoon.
50 seconds is gone.
And was just aiming it toward outside the right-hand goalpost and letting a little bit of a zephyr bring it back in. We'll see how he goes. He's done it this time, but he has put it way too far out. Hasn't got the distance. Off hands at the back of the pack and, in fact, out of bounds. Touched and over the boundary line for a throw-in. Right forward pocket. St Mary's into attack. They're one behind, 2-2-14. Colac, and we played 15 Port Phillip Ferry's first quarter.
So boundary throw-in. Zybell now doing the ruck work, and he'll do it against Peck. So Zybell front position, now Peck front position. Just a little palm down. Dowling hit it at pace but couldn't take the footy. Gorwell had his kick partially smothered. Lockie Simpkin in traffic for Colac. Marnie's handball too slick out the side door. So they'll have to fight hard through Gorwell to get it out. Gorwell looped a handball over the top. Getting involved there was Benny McCarthy. Now the kick towards the outer wing, and Walsh is playing forward now for the moment. Comes up and takes a nice mark in front of Jasker. Walsh in front of the scoreboard that shows Colac by 13 points. Sends a kick towards right half forward for the Tigers. It's spoiled from behind by Sprague. Knocked out of bounds. Boundary throw-in. Charlie Sprague, of course, Barwon Heads product. And great to see Charlie Brower, who was on Grovedale's list, coming back from a knee. He's going to make his footy return for Barwon Heads this afternoon in the Ballerine League of former Geelong Falcon and, of course, youngest member of Barwon Heads Premiership in 2019.
Throw in. Christensen from behind. Blood roves the ball. Kicks it back to the middle. No mark taken. Saw Giovanni in front. He extracts the footy, but only as far as Simpkin. Joffe gets it towards Pritchard in front. Does nicely.
He did.
And he just stood there, took left hand, right hand, took the mark, and goes out with a long kick to Peck, who takes the mark. Back end of centre wing. Out of side. He's just holding the ball up now. Not much to kick to at half forward. He's called to play on now, so he's just going to kick in hope and go over the back. No mark taken at the front centre from Maloney, but he handballed it straight to Colac, who had numbers there, and the ball is going to end up with Simpkin.
Got it from Stevens, who goes short with a kick to Joffe Simpkin of Colac. He drives a kick to a leading player in McGuan, knocked away from behind by Sprague. Was good play, but he found it at ground level, but had his kick smothered. Went forward about 25 metres, head over it. Saw Giovanni. Wonderful tackle. Joffe Simpkin bringing him to ground at the end of the turf table. We get a little bit of a push and shove and a ball up at the edge of the centre square. St Mary's in attack. Colac by 13, opening quarter, gone nearly 17 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Tapped down from behind by Zybell, rolling ball onto the turf table, picked up by Jared Garner of St Mary's. He's right in the middle of the centre wicket area now. He drives a heavy ball inside 50, didn't get full purchase on it, and it's well judged, and the mark taken there by Stevens in front of the advancing Harry Cole, and he'll hold things up for the Tigers, who are doing well defensively.
He's going to go to the back pocket with the kick. Short. Lockie Simpkin takes it in front of Orgarinos. Just to play on now. Tries to drill the ball towards the top of the square at half back, and he's found Spokes, who has taken the grab. He's got Felikos short, goes in that direction. Doesn't quite get to him though. They chop it off, and they're going to play on quickly. Through the middle, the ball comes off a step. Malikan goes long, but at the back, Jasker read at the better against Walsh and called to play on straight away. So he goes towards Travellini, who picks it up on the half volley. Felikos tracks him. He gets the kick over the shoulder towards half-back. Christensen goes up. Can't take the mark. Williamson front and centre was good. Handball just behind Spokes. Had to sit and wait. But his kick over the top missed Lang, and he's going to have to put the tackle on. He does. Comes to the back. Well, then he gets a push in the back. Darcy's going. It was on the side, but I think the first initial contact was in the back, and the free kick's going to go to Sprague.
Charlie Sprague, we won't be able to pick Brodie Marnie up this afternoon. Thankfully, he's distinguishable in those very yellow boots because his number 10 is completely covered. The kick laterally is marked by Damien McMahon. Just outside defensive 50, right half-back, Latrobe Terrace side of Anthony Costa Oval. It's Colac 14, St Mary's 1. McMahon just sends a kick towards back of the wing, not to fly. Did well, couldn't complete the mark though. Front of the pack, Joffe Simpkin a handball up to Blood of St Mary's, who stole the footy, but he walked into a two-man tackle of Zybell and Spoke. Sounds like a law firm, and we'll get a ball up just slightly forward of the wing. Blood just a left hand issue maybe for St John of God. We'll keep an eye on that. Tap down by Christensen, roving Jared Garner for St Mary's. Kick that went up the shot tower, didn't go 15 metres. Umpire said play on, head over the footy, Blood fighting for it against McCormack. Ball locked up under about 4 of them, not coming out. And right in front of our best seats in the house, we could not get a better view. All now Blood's into it. Didn't like something there with Jared McCormack. Blood comes to the bench, and the umpire will toss the ball into the air for Christensen to win the tap.
Gets it down to Maloney. To Pritchard off a step kick, was smothered. And right out of bounds, right in front of the best seats in the house, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. And we're going to have a boundary throw in the right in front of the K-Rock commentary box. And it's going to be Zidbell up against Christensen. In front, the big Colac ruckman, tapped on by Gorwell to the back. Maishman comes off his wing. Now he gives the handball away, shuffles it to Connors. Under pressure, they get the kick over the shoulder. McMahon, Sorge Ivani who fell down? Was Pritchard who fell over at the crucial stage, and Colac through the mud pit back towards half forward. They might have the numbers on the outside. It goes to Zidbell. He gets it around the corner to Spokes. He goes inside 50 as a 2-on-2. Jasker fighting hard for it against Garner, who wrapped him up, got the handball away, but only as far as McMullen. But they came back and helped out Garner and did well. They're putting the pressure on at half forward. Colac, now the ball spills free to Maloney at half back for St Mary's. Gets the don't argue out towards Garner, has to meet it. Tries the don't argue as well. Walters comes at him, back develops. And we're going to have a ball up.
Colan's pressure is
WWE
amazing.
style. It's 2-2-14 Colac. St Mary's one behind. 20.5 played first term, and that's on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
There's no better way to travel. Tapped down in the ruck by Christensen, and it's going to spill now for Gall. His handball on the up for Joffrey Simpkin, who had to kick under pressure on his left boot inside 50. Falling to ground in a 1-on-1 against Shule, and that's a good mark. Might have been Harry Ling taking that. Hamlin Hanger contender. That was a great grab as he goes very wide with the kick. Looking out there for Saw Giovanni. Had to play spoiler on Scott, and in the end the ball taken out of bounds by Damien McMahon for St Mary's at left half back. The intensity, Kirsch.
Both teams got their head over it, haven't they?
Yeah.
And the tackling pressure from Colac at the moment is not allowing St Mary's to get any free-flow football into their game.
That's exactly how Rowan McSparron and Darcy Lang would want it. Boundary throw in. Front position, Walsh won the tap-down rolling ball towards the boundary line. Sherman will be first there for St Mary's. Just able to shrug off Gorwell. Gave a handball to Damien McMahon, who under pressure, a high kick that barely went 15, but Williamson will claim the mark for Colac. Right half forward, Jesse Williamson setting it up to about 20 for a goal. Zybell there, Garner as well, but numbers for St Mary's bring it to ground. McMullen doing the clean-up work out the back. Kick wide for Sherman, and it'll beat him out of bounds as it rolls away from him. Just didn't sit up on its point for him to gather it in. It just took that momentum roll forward out of play. Boundary thrown right forward pocket, or the Lockie Peck pocket, as we like to call it here at Anthony Costa Oval. It's Colac 14, St Mary's 1. First quarter of K-Rock football, thanks to Harvey Norman, Cryo and Warren Ponds.
Boundary throw in. Zybell gets it down. Rove, though, the side by McMullen, goes towards centre wing. Here is the aforementioned Peck who comes up, but Colac numbers at the ball again on the outside. Williamson, handball inside 50. Joffrey off a step, Simpkin around the corner, top of the square, big pack there, no mark taken. Umpire says play on, and Gleason wrapped up by Pritchard straight away. Now they have to come in and ball up 40 out from the Colac goal.
It's not going to be a high-scoring game, Jay, so the goals are going to be the premium, for particularly when the game does open up after half-time.
And the ruck contest. Sorry, Jake, you go.
Oh, you're right. So Garner, long, high, torpedo punt right to the middle. Can't take the mark. His front and centre was pretty good in the end. Dowling rode the bump, couldn't take the footy though. At the back, coming off half back. Handball was sort of coming out there from Maloney on hands and knees. Needs some support. Sherman, now Maloney. Rugby scrums out over the shoulder, and the home side going to take a free kick.
Maloney will be back of the centre wicket area when he gets to his feet. He goes short to Sherman laterally, and they're still inside the back edge of the centre square. A handball off to Ling, and there's free territory ahead of him, so he runs his full measure and then tumbles a punt towards forward 50. Orgarinos had to spoil Simpkin, did so successfully. McCormack gave a handball to Gorwell. Gorwell's kick was underground. Now they go forward. Here, Colac and Garner in the hands. That's a well-judged mark, and he turns and kicks quickly, because streaming forward is Simpkin, taking it on the chest and dribbling it through for the Tigers' third, and he likes it too, Joffy. They go to a 19-point lead, Colac. They're 3-2-20. St Mary's are one behind as we approach 24 minutes gone in this opening quarter of K-Rock football. Thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Computer, electrical, furniture and bedding, Kirsch.
Oh, they're really enjoying some forward ball in, time in forward half at the moment, and they're just getting repeat entries. And it was inevitable, or it was going to happen where the damn wall was going to break. And when you got players like Garner coming at the ball and Vice like grip hands, he's not going to drop those. And you got that midfield streaming forward. That's fantastic play by the Colac Football Club.
So back to the middle. Walsh back in the ruck against Knott. Walsh, he goes up early. They both get a hand to it in the end. Oh, Walsh puts on a tackle, though. Indiscriminate in the end.
For Leopold Sporties, just been told that Nathan Jones kicked the first goal for Port.
Nice. They would have been up and about down there at Port. So the ball here, free kick to St Mary's, goes to Blood now, goes towards centre half forward off the back of the pack. Colac working hard. Oh, handball over the top. No look from Simpkin. Ball goes towards Rennitz. He can't take it. Now tried to tap it on was Spokes. Comes back. Oh, Blood got one high. Was out of bounds. Umpire says throw it in.
And Marcel got the shots too. Geelong Regional Football is very happy.
They wouldn't have to give him any socks or shorts.
That's right. Would have bought them with him from the MCG. So ball in. Walsh gets it down. Sherman tried to take it, not tried to take it. Now he does. He's wrapped up by Felikos straight away. Not going anywhere. The umpire will come in and ball it up.
Would that be an alpha move, rocking up with your AFL tag socks and your old Melbourne shorts? That is ultimate alpha, isn't it?
Nice. Yeah.
Just in case you forgot that I played 302 games.
Yeah.
Ball up at the edge of the centre square. There's a hold in the ruck, and not for the first time. Henry Walsh has given away a free kick, and umpire Clark very adamant there was a free kick there. He gave a handball off to Travellini, who sends a kick towards the right forward pocket. Front position, no mark taken by Christensen. Front of the pack, Harry McMahon had his kick smothered by Rennett. Out of the pack, Cole showed some toe, tightened the pocket, pulled the kick, top of the square, went through the hands of Peck. Numbers back there for Colac, including Gorwell to clean up. He's short, right foot kick. Oh, he's poor. He's kicked it straight to Damien McMahon. He wanted Lang, who we haven't called a lot of, to be honest, the Colac co-coach, and Damien McMahon, who covers more territory than most in the GFL, has taken the mark and will have a shot at goal, and a much needed one as we approach quarter time.
Absolutely it is. Just a skill error. At least the numbers are getting back to help out, but it was just a poor execution of the skill on the exit.
I'd love to see Damien McMahon's GPS numbers. They'd be absolutely blown up, I would have thought.
Absolutely.
He'll kick from around 35 metres. He kicks through the footy nicely. That's a nice finish. He knew off the boot that he kicked the first of the afternoon for the Saints, and didn't they need it? Damien McMahon kicking their first at the 26-minute mark. 1-1-7 St Mary's on the K-Rock Harvey Norman scoreboard. Colac a 3-2-20, a 13-point lead for the visiting Tigers in this opening term of K-Rock football. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
It wasn't pretty, but they worked hard around the stoppages and the dispute, and another free kick against Henry Walsh, but that one's resulted in a score. Yeah, it was a skill error, but it actually cost the inside 50 and the shot on goal.
So back to the middle. St Mary's late stages of this first term with their first of the afternoon. Walsh and Knott. He'll do the majority of the ruck work today. Walsh gets it down traditionally there to Lang, who gets it wrapped up, gets the kick away just under pressure, kicks it across centre wing as the siren sounds, in fact, for quarter time, and it shows St Mary's 1-1-7. Colac 3-2-20.
So the Tigers kicking the first three goals of the contest. Little Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup. They would have crossed paths at VFL level a bit as well. Joffy Simpkin and Joe
a nice one.
Maishman on this wing. Caught APCO Cafe 24/7. Here's Jace.
Walsh gets it down. Marnie to Spokes, who's wrapped up straight away. Garner extracts the football out and then handballs away. Was it high? Yes, said the umpire. It's going to be a free kick to St Mary's. And it's going to be Knott, who has spent as much time on the ground as in the air this afternoon so far. He gives it away to Blood. Goes towards half forward. And St Mary's got the numbers on the outside. The handball came to Maishman, who kept his width but then lost the football. And then Simpkin comes the other way. Maloney comes across and pushes Simpkin off the ball and goes towards the boundary and tried to keep it in, couldn't do so. And Joffy gets up and he's just sucking in one or two there as he gets up. And Beamer,
you reckon the ego's a little bit bruised there?
Got him right across the front. Premiership player, and of course it's going to be a boundary throw in here on centre wing.
Not front position. Walsh from behind, not maybe winning it down. Oh, Maishman taken high by Walsh. Umpire didn't see it that way. We had the better front on view. And we're going to ball up right in front of our best seats in the house. True centre wing. Fabco Cafe 24/7, Kirsch.
No, he was just on the wrong side of it. Then the umpire is blindsided. We had the best view.
Maishman hurts, and John God will keep an eye on that. Blood dumped by Walsh as he tried to get a kick away. Handball up to Lang. Came from Spokes. Lang's high right foot kick flirts with the boundary line. Oh, Mark Endell free kick going Off to Walters, that's Aaron, who gave a handball to Lang. He ran himself into trouble and had to give a handball back to Aaron Walters. Walters to the pocket to Zybell. It's over his head. And the mark taken in the left back pocket, and the Saints will just settle it down. That's Pritchard with the footy. Or Sprague. It's Sprague bringing it towards half-back. Looking for Christensen through the hands of Rennett's out the back. Jared Garner will be first onto it. He runs away from Ben McCarthy and drives it long towards 450 for St Mary. Peck on the juggle. Will he be paid the mark? Yes. So that'll be a mark paid to Peck. He went to play on, but the umpire paid the mark. Peck wasn't sure whether he had both touches on it, but Nick Knott now with the medical staff as well for St John of God, just trying to run off some minor issue, and Maishman looks to be moving a little bit freer than what he was. St John of God, your emergency specialist, open 24/7, Myer Street in Geelong. He's going to have a crack here.
He is.
From the
Lockie Peck. So this is the non-Lockie Peck pocket.
He kicked a long point before. Well, actually, long out of bounds.
He's on its way now. He sends it on its way, and it's a wonderful kick as he kicks with the assistance of the breeze. A lovely finish, so he can do it from both pockets at the northern end. Can Lockie Peck, and the margin is back to 7. St Mary's 2-1-13. Colac a 3-2-20 second quarter of K-Rock football. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
It'd be a real K-Rock treat if he could kick one from in front, just to see if he could do one rather than the pockets, Jace.
Do it from all sides and the middle. That'd be good.
You know when they bring up the percentages of how many times or whatever the goals. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I'd like to see what his in front was. It wouldn't be very high at the minute.
Good start to the second term by the home side.
North Melbourne still by 19. Collingwood got back to 13, but North found a responding goal at the 23-minute mark of the second quarter for Port Phillip Ferries.
Knott gets in front of Walsh in the ruck contest. Blood over the top of it. Oh, the ball spills free. Oh, Spokes had it, and Marnie it was who had it, lost it, and it came out. Will it? No, the umpire says, I'm going to ball it up. And Marnie over the top of Jared Garner. Give the ball back to the umpire. Right on the edge of the glue pot in the middle. Walsh gets it down. Maishman has recovered. Handball though. Set a task for Garner. Got one high. And we'll take the free kick right in the middle of the Anthony Costa Oval for St Mary's.
Yeah, hopefully that deck in about 3 months' time is good for Geelong Cricket Club. Garner outside of the right boot, a high kick. Harry McMahon flying, also flying Christensen. Neither can mark. Kick comes from defensive 50 for Colac that rolls through Zybell. Jared Garner will track it for St Mary's. Edge of the centre wicket area, broadcast side. Pulls the kick back inside 50. Double fister from behind came from Rennett's front of the pack. Spokes with a good clean up and then the handball off. And they'll look to clear towards Zybell, but the kick just had a little bit too much on it for him. And the mark well judged by Sprague. He's playing a roll down back. Can play as a forward, but with the tall timber that Colac have, Sprague's had to roll back. Kick towards forward 50. He's going to get out the back. Chance here for Scott, who's been good. Jams it on the boot towards left half back. Rolling ball that Gorwell will be first to, and he can give a handball over the top to Learson if he so desires. Instead, he went the shorter option and missed it, but they're going to get out of trouble here, and it's going to end up in the hands of Spokes. But he's had his handball deflected. It stays alive in the middle of the ground for St Mary's to turn it over, and they have to Harry McMahon.
And he goes inside 50. Kick doesn't hit a target, though. Rennett's across the half-back line, gets it wide to Lang, who takes the mark, and the Tigers get out of trouble momentarily. Goes short to Gall on centre wing, who's held up by Keast. He wants Lang running past, wants a game next week, gives it to the coach. Kick around the corner was terrible, though. Pritchard left it behind Felikos, handball over the top. He missed the target. Pressure from all ways. Now it goes through the middle, and it goes from Blood towards centre half forward. Christensen stood in the front, couldn't take the mark. Then got one in the back. The umpire said play on Malikan, got a short kick. Saw Giovanni straight off the bench and gets a possession, does he? Gets around 1-3-5. Gets around back towards Blood off a step. Centre wing, long kick. Top of the square, Peck from the side, goes up, can't take the mark. Orgarinos, the front and centre, was good. Left foot kick around the corner, and he's missed it. And Harry McMahon wants the handball, he didn't get it. And that's through for another behind to the home side. They are 2-2-14. They trail Colac 3-2-20. That's on the APCO Cafe 24/7 K-Rock second quarter scoreboard.
Breeze has just got up here, and he's really favouring that northern end of the ground. Kick in comes long towards half-back for Colac, looking for Rennett's. Could spoil Sprague, knocking it out of bounds, and we'll get a boundary throw-in. And the paper is blowing left, right and centre, and now we know Kirsch just loves his reams of reflex. He's got paper going left, right and centre.
Who would have thought my favourite two words today would be heat lamp?
Oh, yes, exactly right.
Tap down, not front of the pack. Gorwell for Colac, taken in a Sherman tackle, dropped it in that tackle. Umpire said play on. Ball comes out the back. Slick hands on the up from Keese. It's going to be free kick too high. An advantage to Colac. And Marnie runs with a bounce. True centre wing confronted. Handball on the bounce taken by Zybel. Just over his shoulder to McGuan, the veteran. Couldn't take it cleanly. Ling might have been taken high. Umpire said play on. McMullen will open up the play with a kick. If it sits from McMahon, he's in business. He's away with a handball now to Sherman. He can give it back to Damien McMahon. McMahon for St Mary's at right half forward. Driving it long inside forward 50. The kick not ideal. No mark taken by the Colac defence. Harry McMahon, a dribbling ball, and he dribbles it through. I think it was Bailey Scott that might have dropped the simple chest mark that opened the door for Harry McMahon. But the build-up from half-back, including the run of Damien McMahon, something to behold. And we are all tied up at 3-2-20 apiece. 7 minutes gone, second quarter, Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. It's St Mary's 3-2, Colac 3-2.
King, you got to strip that right back as to how that ball turned over to get to the outside there. That Marnie had the ball along centre wing and handballs to a ruckman at his feet, and then he had to pick up an indiscriminate ball and handball over his head to a key centre half forward who also had to try and pick up an indiscriminate ball. They were always going to turn it over with that style of play, and then it was onto the outer side, and St Mary's were away.
So all square here at Anthony Costa Oval. Walsh goes up in the middle and gets it down. Lang over the top of it, ripped off the footy without it, should get a free kick and will.
North Melbourne by 20 on the Leopold Sporties around the ground scoreboard.
So back into the centre square here. Lang. Thought about wide to Malikan, just holds it up now though. Goes to the right foot kick. It's okay as well. And they've got the mark on the outer side. It's going to be Walters who goes short. Terrible kick. Might work okay for Joffe, who let it run past and now goes with a right foot kick inside 50 off the back of the pack under pressure. And they get across there, Sherman and Connors. They clear the football, but way too wide out of bounds on the full. It's going to be a free kick going to come back to Joffe Simpkin at left half forward for the Tigers.
He's about 45 from home, so and with the breeze blowing into his face, make it further. He goes short to Lang, who under pressure from Keast is marked on his chest. So Darcy Lang, who is a natural right footer, but he's a better kick on his left if that is anything to believe. He will go with his left boot. He can kick on both, but he's a better left foot kick. Well, we saw his right foot kick earlier that he shanked.
Damien
running down on the broadcast
doesn't agree with you.
Macca was like,
going, what are you talking about?
Is he going to kick on his left or his right here? He's going to kick on his left.
So he's gone on his left.
He's gone on his left. He sent it on its way, and he's kicked.
Oh.
No. Oh, wonderful mark. Zybel hauls it in with the one hand. It didn't have the carry. He jumped at the front of the pack, and he's rolled it down the right arm, and will go back and kick the Tigers fourth. That is one of the Hamlin hangers of the year from Zach Zybel.
Keith has got the job on Lang there too.
Zybel kicked the goal. He kicks the Tigers fourth, and against the run of play, Zach Zybel finds something for his team. But that mark was just something outstanding from Zach Zybel.
And Kingy, you couldn't have called it any better. And Damien McMahon looked at us as to what the hell is Kingy talking about? Is he better on his left or right? And he comes in on the left and draws it to the line and nearly kicks the goal before Zybel takes that absolute screamer. It was a great call, Kingy.
If you've been watching Darcy Lang over the last couple of years, whether at VFL level or here,
Damo should just stick to
to running. I think he ran on the ground going, is that what he was talking about?
6-point Colac lead. Zybel with the highlight of the afternoon. And the margin is back out to an even kick at the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. We've got a cracker here at Anthony Costa Oval, befitting 1v2. And at the MCG, North Melbourne leads Collingwood by 20.
He probably needed that too, Kingy, because Sprague had taken the last 3 marks on him, so that was his get-back mark and goal.
Walsh through the middle, Marnie held on to, didn't take the football with him. Sherman, he gets ripped off the football as well. Pack develops umpire to come in, secondary bounce.
That's half-time at the MCG for Leopold Sporties too. It's going to be a long second half for Kangaroo supporters if they hit it.
Now, Knott got it down. Kick around the corner came Saw Giovanni, ripped off the football. He runs into his own teammate and pushes him past the football, but he's good enough to get it out. And they go now by hand. Sherman, missed blood. He's got a bit of time though, outside the centre square, up the chimney with the kick. Dowling sits Orgarinos, comes from behind. Dowling stayed down, couldn't take it though. Numbers with Colac. Orgarinos ripped it away from them. And now the umpire will come in and ball it up about 40 out in the Lockie Peck pocket at the northern end of the ground.
For Wombat Gully, can you keep an eye on the Dowling matchup, Kirsch, because he's had limited influence on the contest?
Yeah, I'll
Paddy
tell you
Dowling.
about that in a minute when we get a break.
Maloney does the roving off the hands of the pack, gave it to Orgarinos, quick snap around the body to the top of the square, back with the flight. Bailey Scott drops another one. That was a bit tougher this time. Opens the door up for St Mary's and Blood. Blood tried to duck through a tackle, handball back, quick snap. Cole has missed to the near side. Here's your chance, Kirsch.
It is indeed. So Dowling's starting forward and Melican's going to him step for step. And then Dowling will come off for a minute and then go to a wing to try and obviously break that Melican step for step. But as soon as Dowling goes forward again, Melican's taking him. So he's doing a real glove job on him at the moment.
Lockie Simpkin plays on from full back. Nobody really stands the mark, so he runs, takes a bounce, runs 45 metres and goes towards half back. Walters can't take the mark. Tapped it on though for Spokes. Drew a player over the top for Learson to run away from Travellini. Well, he got the speed wobbles and got the handball out. Travellini and Felikos are there as well. Falls back into Learson's hands. He's done well. Zybel to Felikos. 30 out and closing. Right foot kick. He squeezes it and misses to the near side and through for one behind.
Jeez, good play.
And they moved it very quickly then, the Tigers.
He nearly had to bring his own sand bucket then, Leeson.
4-3-27 Colac. St Mary's 3-3-21, 12.5 played second term.
Travellini with the kick-in duties and a 50-metre penalty. Well, that helps. Gee, that must be frustrating for a coach. You got them hemmed in inside defensive 50 and then you give up an easy 50-metre penalty as Travellini takes off. Nobody stands the mark, so he drives it long. Now towards right, half forward, back with the flight. Blood judging it best, couldn't complete the mark against Scott, but he got a handball on the up, only as far as Walsh. Walsh a handball off. Spokes involved now. Kicks with his left towards a one-on-one. There's going to be a free kick, end or mark. Or downfield, and it's Walters. Aaron, a handball off to Hewland. Hewland at left half forward for the Tigers. Drives it long inside 50 for Garner, who stood tall in the pack against Jasker and took the mark. He's just got him for strength at the moment.
Yeah, that's what we spoke about earlier on, about how good he is one-on-one, and he's got that strength on Jasker. But yeah, he's quick on that first, a bit like Dunstall, you know, really quick on the first couple of steps. But one-on-one, he's very hard to move and nearly unbeatable.
Kicked one this afternoon, 32 for the season. This to go back out to a 12-point advantage into the breeze is not a bad result for the Tigers halfway through this second quarter. Garner leans back and kicks nicely with the finish, and the margin is 12. So Adam Garner with the 2 this afternoon and 33 for the season. 4-3-27 becomes 5-3-33 for the Tigers. St Mary's stay at 3-3-21 in this second quarter of K-Rock football, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. APCO Cafe 24/7, we've got you.
There was almost 2 coach killers in that set play, wasn't there? The coach killer of the 50-metre penalty from out the back, and then the coach killer for down the ground. And unfortunately for the St Mary's coaches, it cost them a goal. And yeah, if they get it in there really quickly, geez, they're hard to stop in that forward half.
So back to the middle. Walsh and Knott to do the ruck work for the respective sides. 14 played in this second term. Walsh goes up and gets it down. Marnie wrapped up by Maloney. Case taps it forward. Maloney again tries to ride the bump. Wrapped up. Umpire says thrown. Free kick. And he's going to come back to Spokes, who goes to the outer side with the kick towards centre wing. Rennett's got a bit of time as Sherman bears down on him. Goes wide. Zybel comes out. Can't take the mark. And in fact, was it out of bounds on the full? Must have just bounced. Yeah, touched. It was just in the field of play. So it will be a boundary throw in 55 around from the Colac goal. And it will be Walsh and Knott once again for the ruck work. Walsh works his way to the front. Oh, hits Knott in the head, Falcon style. And the ball comes back towards Walsh, the 2 big boys. Goes to Marnie, little left foot kick around the corner. Missed though with the kick. And Pritchard just back on the ground, takes the mark for the home side.
Pritchard back into the team this week after missing against St Albans. Just lowered the eyes and put the driving kick onto the chest of Knott, but he's still inside defensive 50. He gives a handball back to Pritchard, who needs to straighten back up onto his left boot. Sends it long to a one-on-one, and that's well judged by Scott in a one-on-one against Harry McMahon. Bailey Scott playing game 21, I think, in from Elvie in the Colac League last year. Scott, a high kick towards left half forward. Garner's his target, spoiled from behind McMullen, but the roving of Learson was elite, and the driving kick for Zybel was knocked away by Sprague. Ground level for Felikos, went to go off the ground but had a fresh area almost. Zybel fought for it, got a handball in the air, But St Mary's have got numbers back to try and lock this up, and it's spilled out the side door, although there might be a free kick being paid. Is it a throw?
Holding the ball.
Holding the ball is a decision being paid. Which way? It's going against Sprague, I think, going to Colac. So there was no advantage out of the pack, and it's going to come back to Zybel. And this for an 18-point lead, which would be the biggest margin, or second biggest margin, I should say, of the contest. Zach Zybel, of course, broke a leg in a VFL practice match with Geelong back in March, and hence why he's been limited to just the 3 games for the Tigers this year. And looking to work his way back into the catch team, although Graham McSparron would be happy to keep him here as long as possible. He got too close to the man on the mark there, pulled the kick and threw for a minor score. So missed opportunity there. The margin is 13. They're now 5-4-34. Colac St Mary's a 3-3-21 in this second quarter of K-Rock football. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock just ticking towards 17 minutes gone.
Lost over it before, but Leeson's front and centre was something to behold. It was amazing.
Just hit it at pace. Travellini plays on from full-back, goes to the outer side. Long kick, looks for Knott. Worked well off the back of Walsh and handballs it away quickly to Garner. Long torpedo punt, only Jared Garner could do. Goes towards centre half for to hold, said the umpire. Free kick to Colac, is it? St Mary's? Oh, he hasn't really pointed. Peck.
He hasn't pointed.
Will take the free kick, 65 out. They were holding each other, weren't they? Really, he kicks. Lockie Peck kicks into the Peck pocket, and then he goes back towards the goals. It actually might run through for a behind. It will in the end, and St Mary's get one more. 3-4-22. They trail Colac 5-4-34, and that's on the Apco Cafe 24/7 K-Rock scoreboard.
Lockie Simpkin to bring the ball back into play for Colac at the northern or city end of the ground. That kick's not great, although Blood, nearly conspired to drop the mark, but he was able to juggle it and then pull the kick for Sherman, who got one high from Simpkin, I reckon, and that'll be a free kick. The spoiling attempt, just the old-fashioned ear massage.
Yep.
And the umpire had no choice but to pay the free kick, and Zach Sherman will have a shot and an opportunity to pull the margin back to 6 points. He's just left of centre. Man on the mark stands about 25 from goal. He'll look to kick the 4th of the afternoon for the Saints. Zach Sherman from 25 metres, no problem for a player of his class. And they're back within 6 points. St Mary's now 4-4-28. Colac a 5-4-34, and the arm wrestle continues here at Anthony Costa Oval in this second quarter of K-Rock football, thanks to Apco Cafe 24/7, our #1 ticket holder in season 2022, specialising in petrol and convenience, and Cafe 24/7 food service facilities. And the team last night on Ormond Road looking after me very nicely as I filled the car up. Just keeping the Rick Scarell focus on the road.
I think you got them all there, Kingy. You've done well.
Yeah, you didn't miss many.
Very well. So back to the middle. Christensen in the ruck, giving Knott a chop out.
Had to get a loan for the petrol, though.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Goes back now. Garner in the middle. Handballs on the up to Blood. Streams free, goes with the right foot kick to half forward. Cole just sits and waits, and that's good because he's going to get the ball in the head. 40 out, just gets pushed off the football as he gets his kick away, runs across the face of goal, and left forward pocket. St Mary's going to have a boundary throw in. Goal the difference, 19.5 played in this second term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Port Phillip Ferry's, there's no better way to travel.
Port Arlington and Geelong to Docklands. Cat's got a couple of Saturday nights games coming up. Might consider that. Peck out of the ruck. Handball Orgarinos. And that was all a little bit too easy. Outstanding from Peck in the ruck contest. He was favoured by the throw-in. Planted his backside just in the right position to create some clearance between he and Zach Zybel. And the handball release, and Orgarinos is not missing those from that distance or when he's got that opportunity. And we are all tied up. So the chance gone. Begging only minutes ago to go 18 points to the good with that Zybel shot at goal. And they've kicked back-to-back goals, St Mary's, through Sherman and Orgarinos, and we're locked away at 34 apiece. Old Troy Luff, 5-4-34, as we tick into time on in this second quarter for Apco Cafe 24/7. Luff!
We spoke about it pre-game, about St Mary's ability to kick goals from stoppages. They're the #1 team in the competition for it, and Colac, who really got to tighten up in that area.
Zybel got it down, but Christensen came in at the right time. Dowling got the handball over the top to Case. Saw Garner on his outside. Pointed the centre square at half forward. Loops the left foot kick inside. Peck tried to work his way to the front. Orgarinos there again, front and centre. Tried to get the handball free through it in the end. And the umpire said free kick, Colac. It's going to come back to Bailey Scott in the last line of defence, who Rowan McSparron said has been moved back there and has been doing nicely. He goes short with the kick. Simpkin right in the goal square. Lockie trips as he tries to run away. Now goes to the left foot kick into the pocket. Certainly right around the boundary line. Gorwell, though, has got it. He'll try and drive it to the outer side.
He's in the peck pocket, left back pocket that is for Colac, and he's a well-weighted kick onto the chest of Spokes. Got it just outside defensive 50. Dowling standing the mark, who we have barely called this afternoon. He sends a kick looking for McGuan. Jaska played spoiler and knocked it towards Dowling, who had a fit of the fumbles at the boundary line, and it is out of bounds right forward pocket. If you had said that St Mary's would be 5-4 and Dowling would have had no influence on the contest, you'd be surprised.
One mark, one kick, one handball, Kingy.
Occurs higher, your local hire company since 1982. Boundary throw-in. Right half forward. St Mary's in attack and coming. Christensen the tap down. Blood the roving for St Mary's. Lost it in the tackle. That'll be holding the ball, and it was a good tackle too. And it's Zybell doing the hard work. Handball off to Hewland. Hewland will kick on his left boot, just back of the wing. Oh, good fly over the top, McMullen, but couldn't complete the mark on Garner. Front of the pack numbers there for St Mary's, including Keast. Fired a handball back to Jaska. Jaska turned and kicked long, and wonderful mark. That's Malikan. That's a captain's mark at left half back, standing tall in a pack of 4.
So Malikan now.
He's doing the job on Dowling.
And he drives it with his right foot towards half forward. Mark at the back by McMullen. Use the body nicely. Switches it towards Garner at half back. Trying to create some space. They go to Ling. He goes towards McMahon. Push past the footy by Renitz at the back. Will it sit? Will it sit for Colac to be able to get away through Scotty's handball back to Lang? Harry McMahon put a good tackle on. Ball spills free. Renitz back. They've got the numbers. Back to great handball to Hewland on the up from Scott. And he goes from centre wing.
Sends it towards a one-on-one marking contest. No mark taken by Aaron Walters. Felikos came in hard to try and cause a spillage. Might be a free kick here going which way? It's going against Pritchard. Thought Felikos might have given one when he came in. Walters goes to play on now, went to handball and then realised he was going to miss hit the handball. That's holding the ball. He was like stuck in the La Brea tar pits. Trying to get out there, Walters, and Pritchard the free kick, but under pressure. His kick rolled past Learson. Blood went in low. Trying to lock the footy in. Is that a free kick the way Blood went in? Is that supposed to be the definition of the rule? Either way, hasn't been paid. Blood comes again onto the cricket turf table. It sits. Ball's not coming out of there. And the umpire says, give it to me. Or has he paid a free kick? He's come bursting in, the umpire. And he has paid a free kick for too high. And Blood is the last man up. And taking the free kick, Cody Spokes is nice enough to walk up to him and hand the footy to him.
Just so it wasn't 50.
Very courteous. And Blood will drive a kick towards half forward.
Goes there now with the kicker. McCormack, punch to the front. Augurinos got pushed in the back. The umpire said play on. Through the middle, Cole put his head down. He got wrapped up straight away, not going anywhere. And there will be another ball up. So big pack around the play too. As Harry Cole gets up, gives the umpire the ball for a ball up. At half forward for St Mary's. Side of the pack. Maloney can't take it. Through the middle, the kick by Spokes was smothered. Jaska rides the tackle from McGuan. He's not going anywhere either. The umpire with a bit more work to do. 5-4, 34 apiece here at Anthony Costa Oval. 24 and a half played in this second term, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7.
Into the air the ball goes. And Zybell winning the tap down. He rolls it onto the cricket pitch area and it almost sits. Socket off the ground by Sherman, but he didn't get great purchase on it. Copping one high, will get a free kick. It was incidental, the contact, but Cole is just grabbing at his head. The last thing he needs is more injury issues because his career's been ravaged by them. Gives a handball off. Jared Garner under pressure from McGuan. Dumped as he kicked inside forward 50. Bouncing ball. Dowling came out. Couldn't take the footy. Zybell body lined the ball. Did well. Created a bit of space. And then got a handball release up. It's now through hands. Lockie Simpkin. Hewland. That driving left boot of his is well weighted. And the mark taken out there by Dustin Walters. Dustin Walters in board. McGuan with the one hand plucked it in. That was as casual as you like from the veteran. And then he swings onto his right boot from about 47 metres, slipped as he kicked. Top of the square numbers there for St Mary's. McMullen, although, no, was that touched off the boot or not? If it's not, it's a 50-metre penalty. And no, touched off the boot was a decision of the umpire. And it will be a ball up, I suspect. Yeah. So they're having a bit of a discussion here, the two umpires. Looks like umpires Clark and Jones having a discussion. The umpire will bring it back in common sense, is probably going to prevail here. 15 metres out from the Colac goal.
So big pack around it as the umpire has the ball well, waiting for the ball to come back, actually, because, as Kirsch said, a goal had been kicked
Yep.
off the back of the play.
Mind you, half of them had stopped.
Yeah, so there was plenty of room for him to kick a goal. So the ball back now, 20 out from the Colac goal. And Felikos is there. Ball spills. Cole clearing kick back to half back, but standing the way was McCarthy. And he goes short with a kick, finds Learson. And he'll shoot for goal from 45 out directly in front. So Kane Learson, who hasn't troubled the scorers yet, if he can score something or put the Tigers back in the lead.
Kicking into the teeth of that breeze. Has picked up, as Kingy mentioned earlier.
Yeah. So he's kicking to the southern end, the swimming pool end here at Anthony Costa Oval. He comes in, right foot kick, gives it everything he's got, and he has missed it to the near side.
She made good contact.
He did. And through 4-1 behind, which gives Colac that lead, 5-5-35. They lead St Mary's 5-4-34. APCO Cafe 24/7 K-Rock scoreboard.
Harry Ling with the kick-in duties for St Mary's. Ticking over 27 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Driving the ball wide, looking out there for Knott. Spoil came from behind. Might have been Marnie providing the spoil. Euland will track it towards the boundary line near the outer side scoreboard. Then he barrels a kick forward, bouncing ball into the path of Dustin Walters, who was able to shrug a tackle, but before he got a handball away, he stepped out of bounds. And a boundary throw-in, just right where the 50 meets the boundary line. Left half forward, Colac in attack. They lead by 1. It's living up to expectations. It's tight and it's tough. The 1v2 battle from the boundary throw-in. Sherman ahead over the ball. Ball spills out rugby scrum style, and at the clean-up is Cole, who jams it on his boot for St Mary's. Just forward of the wing, but back with the flight judging at best. McCormack for Colac. So outer wing. Sun shining here at Anthony Costa Oval, but grey clouds are hovering. Kick towards half forward, fisted away from McGuan. Clearing kick from Jared Garner, the former Colac premiership player, and he's kicked it straight back to McCormack, who marks. Bit of kick-to-kick going on here late in the second quarter.
The schoolyard.
It's at left half back now, McCormack. Called to play on. It's going to go back to whence it came in front of Walsh, who takes a very good mark in front of Knott. And right in front of the scoreboard, which shows Colac by a point. Goes along the line towards half forward with the kick. Jasker at the back claiming the mark, called to play on. Both he and McGuan got some hands to it. The ball kicked around the corner. Oh, Gorwell front on from Garner. And we'll take the free kick.
Free kick, but not much he could have done, really.
Yeah, just stood there and he ran into it pretty much. So Gorwell off a step. Inside 50. Chopped off though. Sherman read the play the better and will relieve again for St Mary's.
I don't think half-time can come quick enough for both teams.
Oh, yeah.
It's just sort of...
Malaise now.
Yeah, there it is. Just degenerated the skill level.
Yep.
As that quarter went 28-45 on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock, and we have a 1-point ball game. So 1v2 living up to expectations. It's Colac 5-5-35. They did get out to a third. So nice little battle there. Garner and Marnie's.
Yeah, that's a ripper.
He's a ripper match-up for Wombat Galley Plant Farm. But here's Jason Doherty to get us underway. Second half between first and second.
Walsh gets it down, straight into the glue pot. Lang kicks it off the ground towards McMahon, who tries to ride the bump and through it, said the umpire will drop the ball. So free kick, Colac.
He hasn't made too many mistakes this year, Damien.
He hasn't. Euland now. Left foot kick inside 50. Oh, chopping it off. Sherman read it the better, and lucky he did too, because Colac had a couple of options there. They go now. Garner from half back towards McMahon. The two number 16s. Malikan comes at it. Handball. No look back to Malikan. Short little kick was okay. McGuan stuck the big mitts up and took the mark at left half forward.
Jasker seems to have him for the moment for Wombat Galley Plant Farm, Kirsch.
I think they just might have got crossed over or a handover in that play. I don't think they expected it to come back that well because Malikan come off Dowling.
Yeah. McMullen's gone to the goal line with the other 31, Zybel. McGuan, this won't be beyond the veteran. He is a noted long rooster of the football. Just swings out onto his right boot, sends it on its way. It's going to fade across the face of goal through the hands there of McMullen. He's going to be paid the mark. In fact, it's not. He's going to be paid the mark. Next to the left-hand behind post, he goes across the face of goal, right back pocket to Sherman. Sherman goes short to Keast. He makes his return from a stint at Werribee. And he's got it just inside defensive 50. Keast goes short onto the chest of Knott. That's good from the big man. He gives the handball back to Keast. Keast drives a kick past our best seats in the house. Sends it towards Christensen. Double fister brings it to Graham Rennett's good at his bootlaces. Melican in traffic to Yulin. Back to Melican. It's good from the Tigers. Gorwell back to Melican. Was just at his thigh. Did okay to get a handball on the up to McGuan, but he walked straight into a Knott tackle who dumped him WWE style, and we'll get a ball up. But what about the touch from the Colac players in tight?
Oh, Melican was elite.
That just last one for him. I think it might have been Gorwell back to him. Just was at his thigh and didn't it? Just broke his momentum.
So ball up. Knott got it down to the side of the pack. Ball spills free. Williamson gives it to Lang off a step. Left foot kick around the corner. Deep and high in front. McMullen falls to Zybell. Goes to Garner now. Kick over the shoulder. And he has missed and through for one behind. 2 goals to his personal tally this afternoon, Adam Garner. And Colac go out to a 2-point lead, 5-6-36. They lead St Mary's 5-4-34. And a quick kick in by St Mary's as well from full back.
Falls off the hands of the pack to Blood. Blood a handball out the side door. Dowling haven't called a lot of. Now he sends a kick to the middle, wanting Maloney. Had to play spoiler on Simpkin and he was late. And has given away a free kick for either too high or a push. So that's Lockie Simpkin with it. Edge of the centre wicket area, just on the outer side of the GMHBA Stadium side of the ground. He goes backwards slightly and concedes to Cooper Stevens at left half back. Orgarinos standing the mark almost at the point of the square. And Stevens looks up and sees 34 players in front of him, so he has to go laterally on the bounce back to Lockie Simpkin. He took it, turned one way, then back onto his right boot, and was a piercing kick to Lang, who then comes back inboard, back to Stevens, and they've got some run here, the Tigers, from the wing.
They go with a long right foot kick inside 50. McGuan got him up. Hamlet hanger. Contender, and he handballed it off quickly to Felikos with the outside of the right boot, but it was smothered. St Mary's working overtime in the back line. Travellini, handball over his head. Connors was there. His kick was partly smothered as well. Joffy Simpkin tracks it towards Harry McMahon, wraps him up, throws him over the boundary line with the football, and we'll have a boundary throw-in in the Lockie Peck pocket. Northern end of the ground.
Keane McMullen has stayed back on Garner, so they obviously don't like that one-on-one matchup and pushed Jasker up onto McGuan, who's taken the last 2 marks, ironically one-on-one with Jasker.
So from the ball up, it was in the end. It didn't go out of bounds. Here's Williamson tight in the pocket. Not a bad effort from Williamson's hit the post just above the padding. Gee, it would have been his second good one of the afternoon, Jesse Williamson. But he's now got 1 goal, 1, and the margin is 3 on the third quarter K-Rock Harvey Norman scoreboard. 5-7 playing 5-4. Travellini to bring the ball back into play. He'll send it into the sunshine. On the outer side, it's a long ball to a one-on-one, not shielding his eyes from the sun. Was spoiled by Walsh off the front of the pack. Blood attacking it. The St Mary's skipper tucked it under the arm with a bounce. He'll look to give a handball, or will he kick? He kicks into space for McMahon. It'll bounce for him or Saw Giovanni. Saw Giovanni did well. Got rid of Learson. Handball off to Damien McMahon. McMahon's underground kick. Rolling ball attacked by Oh, Colin by Rennett's was high. The old-fashioned coat hanger on Paddy Dowling from Rennett's. And Dowling is just dusting himself up, often picking himself up and getting to his feet to potentially have a shot at goal. And the crowd has thickened in the Don Matheson Pavilion. The pasties have come out of their function and they'll be in full voice for this closing quarter in a bit.
Check his Adam's apple in the back of his neck at the moment, I reckon.
Nearly got knocked into the K-Rock box.
Dowling, man on the mark, stands 49 from goal. He will kick into the breeze. So it will be a tough ask. You'd need to start it, you'd suspect, right goalpost and let it fade off the left boot. He swings out. He sends it too far out to the left. In fact, he was never going to have a real shot at it. Flying but not marking off the hands of the pack. Peck was involved, couldn't take it. Christensen hit the deck after flying for the mark ball. Bobbling around. Walsh was the unlikely ferreter for the football, and he will hand it over to the umpire and compete in the ruck about 15 out from the St Mary's goal.
Peck in the ruck contest with Walsh. Ball spills back towards Orgarinos. Handball towards Garner, who straight-lined it. Dropped the football on the tackle. Simcoe Lockie got it out, clearing. Kick back towards centre wing. Zybell got a couple against him. Jasker, front and centre from Walters was great, but he ran out of room, I think. He was nearly in the car park when he kicked that. And it will be a boundary throw-in right on centre wing on the outer side. 5-4-34 St Mary's, Colac 5-7-37. We've played 6 minutes in this third term, and Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. There's no better way to travel.
Geelong and Port Arlington to Docklands. Think about it for the Cats' Saturday night clash with Carlton next week, about travelling up on the ferry early. Tapped down by Knott for St Mary's. Connors is taking in a Walsh tackle and going nowhere just below the scoreboard that shows Colac 37, St Mary's 34. Thanks to Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Ponds. So no goals kicked yet in this third quarter as we've gone 6.5 minutes. Not winning the tap down this time for St Mary's. Head over the footy, Garner. He can't reef it out of the contest because he's wrapped up by Gorwell and Marnie. And he's going to get pinged here, I reckon. Gee, tough, Kirsch.
Yeah, absolutely. What was he meant to do?
When you put the fend on, which he tried to do, that's when they give you your prior op. Gorwell's kick didn't go 15 to Lockie Simpkin, so he has to turn and kick quickly to McGuan. Knocked away by Jasker, cleaned up by Lee. Oh, gee. Jeez. That might have been high and not paid against Walters. It was Aaron Walters on Sherman, who's still waiting for a free kick, although he doesn't say a lot, so maybe it looked worse than what it actually was, and we'll get a ball up 40 metres from the Colac goal.
So the ball from the contest, it's going to be a free kick, and it's coming back to Colac. Zybell's going to have it. 50 out from goal, runs very close to the man on the mark again, kicks it across the face of goal. McMullen gets his hand to it, close to the boundary line. Pritchard comes across to help. Handball, off a step, Sherman. Wide, Williamson to go up, off that back side of the pack. Lang gets the left foot kick around the corner into the pocket. Again, front and centre. They've got the numbers, though, St Mary's, just to be able to settle the play down. Short kick to Maloney's okay. And he finds himself with the ball just inside defensive 50 for St Mary's, and wants to drive it down the line. Walsh has got his name written on, he goes up, but he's got Malikan to contend with as well, his teammate. Ball spills to the side of the pack, and Keast sees it over for a throw-in. So 3 points of difference here. 8 minutes played in this third term on the Harvey Norman K-Rock third quarter scoreboard.
37-34, 3 points of margin, living up to billing, but it's tight and tough between the top two. Walsh front position, not from behind, won the tap down. Garner slipped over as he attacked it for St Mary's. Keast was in there as well. Did he hold on to Lockie Simpkin too long? Umpire said play on. Ball spills out towards the half-forward flank that Colac occupies. Joffy Simpkin wrapped up by Connors and going nowhere as the 2019 grand final hero. Got to throw that in when we call St Mary's game. Ensures Joffy Simpkins going nowhere. Walsh won the tap down. Felikos coming off the bench one way, but it was knocked away from him by Pritchard. Chance now to clear the kick from Keast towards right half forward. There's a holding decision going to be paid here. Which way? It's against Peck. He was hanging on to Jaron McCormack in the marking contest. And a free kick for McCormack. He goes into the middle. And he sets it up for Stevens, but Stevens can't advance, so he has to give a handball off to the voice of the teammate cruising past in Scott. He'll go back in with a handball to Stevens, who had to reach for it, confronted by Maishman. Handball was a bit errant and trying to get it to Gorwell, and now it's going to be locked up inside the centre square. Gorwell dived on it. Umpire says, give it to me. I'll ball it up. So just no fluidity in the ball movement of Colac at the moment. St Mary's rolling numbers back nicely.
Really messy.
So not Walsh, not gets it down. Side of the pack, running onto it. Maishman can't take it with him. Ballard, he gets wrapped up and gets the handball over the top to Keast. Rides the tackle, gets the handball out further. Harry McMahon, he's pushed off the football, and that's holding it. So Colac will take a free kick, and it will come back to Yuland. Just the defensive side of centre wing on the outer side. So Angus Yuland, who will get his left foot going here now, drives it long towards half forward with the kick. Big pack there off the side. The handball was quick, but it was chopped off by Ling, who goes up the shot tower and towards Maloney. As he kept it in the field of play? I think he has. And he will take the mark and play on quickly. That was a terrible kick by him. Needs some support from a couple of teammates who didn't get it. They didn't sit very well. And the handball by Stevens for Colac. Keast is wrapped up straight away by Stevens, and the umpire's letting it go, and he's going to ping him here for holding the ball.
Henry Walsh in back play, Jace. Caught one to the ribs. He's been with a trainer, and now he's coming from the ground. So we'll keep an eye on that for St John of God. He's been hanging on to those ribs for about 35, 40 seconds now. So hopefully he's okay with the resultant free kick at right half back with Stevens. Driving it long to a one-on-one. McMullen and Garner goes through both of them and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So he seems to be okay. He's just sucking in the big ones right now, Henry Walsh, as he makes his way to the Tigers bench.
Both sides playing with a +1 here, Jace, with Zach Sherman, the one rolling behind the play, which is why Colac aren't bombing that ball into their forward half at the moment.
It's waiting for the ball to come back from the crowd. Good crowd is assembled. There are actually plenty of them around the fence here this afternoon. Weather's conducive with the rain clearing from earlier today. Shallow throwing, grabbed out of the ruck by Not for St Mary's. A high kick that'll float forward of the wing. It's set for Scott to fly. He almost spoiled his own teammate, and in the end, Stevens was actually good enough to mark the footy despite the attempted spoil over the top from Scott. Kick towards right half, forward stretching and marking. That's a wonderful mark under pressure coming there from Dusty Walters. Despite the pressure for, I think it was Sherman, he's taken a really good mark, and then he kicks into the right forward pocket, and Jaska judging it best back with the flight as it went over the head of Adam Garner. Jaska wants a corridor, and oh no, Josh Jaska's turned it over straight into the waiting arms of Dean Felikos.
It's probably one place you don't want to turn the ball over is into corridor, 35 out from goal.
You have to be precise with that skill, and he wasn't. And Dean Felikos, with all his experience, playing game 237, just positioned himself perfectly, and Jaska's kick just didn't have the punch on it and the height on it to get over his head. And
this is huge.
Felikos, this for a 9-point lead, has kicked the goal. So that is a big kick in the context of this game, and an arm wrestle here at Anthony Costa Oval. Just the 11th goal of the afternoon as we approach the halfway mark of the third quarter. Colac go 9 points to the good. They're 6-7-43. St Mary's a 5-4-34.
You know, the importance of getting a goal early in the game. They've had so much dominance with ball inside their forward half of the ground, Colac, and they haven't been able to get a score on, and it's taken them 12 minutes to kick that goal. But I'll tell you what, they probably need another 2 or 3 going into that break, with the breeze picking up, as we mentioned earlier. Dowling back on the ground and gone to that wing position again, but obviously he'll go forward and Melican will get him.
Gee, it's got very dark over the back. Don't know whether we might see some rain come in from the southwest as the afternoon progresses. That will throw another little bit of subplot into the contest.
Christensen gets it down in the ruck contest against Zybell and follows it up, gets a clearing kick, but only as far as the back end of the centre square for Bailey Scott, who goes outboard with the kick. Had to be measured towards Gorwell because he had 3 St Mary's players against him. He couldn't pick it up. Garner comes across, so does McMahon. They wrap him up, and the umpire says, I'll have it. Just forward to centre wing for Colac. 3-quarter time at the MCG. Leopold Sporties, North Melbourne, 12-7-79. Collingwood, 8-5-53. 26
Wow.
the diff.
Are you calling it?
Yep.
Tap down Christensen, roving though, done by Garner. That's Jared Garner, and his kick forward is marked by Saul Giovanni. It's not a bad mark either by the answer, and he sets it up into the forward 50 to a 1-on-1. It's knocked away from Orgarinos. Colac defence having to work hard. Rennett's taking in a tackle. He was able to free the arms to try and get a handball away, and he's been pinged for holding the ball, I reckon.
Yep.
Because the umpire said you took on the tackle by raising your ball above your head looking for an option, and as a result, was it Rennett? Yeah, it was Rennett. I'm pretty sure it's been pinged, and the free kick, I think, will go the way of Harry Cole. It will.
That's how we used to get taught when you got tackled, to raise your hands and, you know, get it, break free of the tackle or get the tackle out.
He did that, but he wasn't able to get the handball away.
He did not.
Harry Cole has kicked 11 goals this year from 10 starts. This for 12 from 11, and to cut the margin back to 3 points. He starts it right, he works it back, and it's a nice finish. Breeze brought it back really nicely for Harry Cole, and they get back within less than a kick. They're 6-4-40 St Mary's. Colac is 6-7-43, third quarter. K-Rock, Harvey Norman scoreboard, and we're enjoying this one from Anthony Costa Oval.
And that shows how dangerous they are when they can get the ball inside their forward 50. They haven't had a lot of inside 50s this quarter, but when they get it down there, they've got so many players that can contribute and hit the scoreboard, and their pressure inside that forward 50 is enormous. So they've got to be really clean, that Colac back half, trying to get it out.
3 points the difference here, 3 points the difference at Memorial Park as well. Newtown 54, Leopold 51. So for Leopold Sporties around the grounds, Christensen goes up here at Anthony Costa Oval and gets it down. Pack develops Maloney's there as over the top. Christensen as well. The umpire will come in. Secondary bounce. All right, in the glue pot on the cricket pitch area. A bowl today on that. Ball. They wouldn't be batting on that, I can tell you. Handball away, free kick to Garner, torpedo punt off a step. Wow. It's a wow kick, but C. Giovanni gets it around the corner towards centre half forward. No mark taken, Maishman or Garinos front and centre couldn't take it. Zybell through the middle, just a bit of soccer tactics. Stevens to Scott, right foot kick, long kick too, out towards centre wing, punched away. Nick Connors 25 v Darcy Lang 25, and it will be over the line for a throw in on centre wing.
West lead Grovedale by 7 at Burdu Reserve. And Australia are 9 for 345 in the cricket.
Right, nice.
Day 2.
We're going around the grounds.
We are really going around the ground. We're going around the Cape. Zybel won the tap down for Colac, front of the pack. Where do you expect him other than there, Jack Blood? But he is wrapped up instantaneously, going nowhere. We'll get a ball up right in front of the scoreboard that shines like a beacon on what is now a dark afternoon. 43 playing 40. KFC adorning it. Here's Spokes with a clearing kick for Colac towards right half forward, but Sherman down on his knees took a nice mark. And he'll concede inside defensive 50 to Travellini. They want to try and open up the broadcast or Matheson Pavilion side of the ground. Travellini now to the corridor for Dowling, who under pressure from Felikos. Can't complete the mark. Found the ball on the ground. Felikos laid a good tackle, but he got a handball to Sprague. Up to Ling. Ling a kick towards forward 50. Not coming out. Won't get there. And Scott judged it best, taking the mark. Handball off to Renitz. Renitz will kick to the wing. Will stay in the field of play. It'll skid away, unfortunately, from Aaron Walters. And out of bounds for a boundary throw in at the interchange gates, where it's busier than Spencer Street on a Thursday night. We'll get a boundary throw in. 3-point Colac lead.
It's like an AFL game. Watching them going on and off the ground. There's
Enough.
movements everywhere here. No wonder all of them got 8 coaches, so they can keep contact with what's going on. Zybel gets it into Christensen, who's hurt his ankle from that contest. Ball out the front to Spokes. Travellini comes the other way, left it behind Felikos. Wrapped up in the tackle straight away. Christensen in a bit of trouble in back players coming straight off the ground with a right ankle. And he's had a bit of trouble today, shoulder and ankle. And nobody wants to help him. Mate's coming to the ruck. Zybel gets it from Blood, who was in the ruck contest as well, with Christensen off Felikos. Handball chopped off. Connors, handball over the top to Travellini. Oh, a little bit of magic. Kick up the chimney towards Cole at half 40. Comes out, can't take the mark. Punched away. And it will be a boundary throw in between wing and half forward. St Mary's just into attack. 3 points of difference here, middle stages of the third term. 6-4-40, Colac 6-7-43.
Yeah, 18 minutes ticked over Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Umpire Lamal, boundary throw in. Tapped down by Zybel.
It's a never-ending story, that one.
Now here he's a bit too shy. A kick towards half forward. Gorwell back with a flight. The high kick takes the mark.
What am I dealing with here?
For those 80s lovers out there.
He goes back to Learson, who marks top of the defensive 50-metre paint. He'll have a bounce to the veteran with 1. And now 2 bounces on a firm bit of ground on the outside of the right boot. A well-weighted kick. And the mark.
He's just run past. That's goal.
Taken out there by Renitz. Renitz driving a kick inside 50. Aaron Walters from behind had to play spoiler. Ling, the rover for St Mary's, dumped in a tackle, brought to ground, going nowhere, and we'll get a ball up right forward pocket. It is very, very much. Just Google the Marl. If you're watching the AFL Bar on Facebook live stream, you will know what we're talking about. And if you're not, you're listening to us through KROC 955 or KROC.com.au. Just you'll get an indication. Lamal, Limahl. Umpire tosses it up. Tap down, not roving. Blood slung in. Attack. I told him the ball. Yep. That's a wonderful tackle. Oh, it's a sling tackle. It's been paid as a sling tackle against Marnie, who now has to contend with Charlie Sprague, giving him a bit of a push and shove, and Blood with it in the left back pocket. And gee, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyway, here's a little bit of Lamar.
Stop it. The ball goes up. Oh, it's gone pear-shaped here, I tell you. Zybel gets the kick around the corner. Back inside 50. Connors on hands and knees now, needs to release it. Sprague gets it back. McMullen off a step. Kick short is okay. Keast has got it. He tries to draw it back. They're just settling the play down. St Mary's and trying to create possession. Short. Oh, Sherman didn't see Lang next to him. Got one high. Lucky. And then play on advantage, past the umpire. Maishman followed it up, who goes with the kick towards half forward. Peck from behind, needed to be defensive. Handball from Renitz, missed the target. Dowling through 2, then got wrapped up. The umpire says holding it. Took on 1 too many there, Paddy Dowling. And the free kick's going to come back to McCormack. Gives it away by hand to Simpkin. Lockie short. He goes now Hewland. Off a step, goes long towards centre wing.
He drives it towards a 2-on-1. Zybel was the one, but he's ended up with the foot. He somehow jammed a kick on the boot, but only as far as Keast. He conceded some ground, actually, Zybel, and going looking for a target, but he only found Keast, who drives a kick to Harry McMahon. A handball off to Jared Garner. Garner drives it long for St Mary's. Open goal square, back with the flight. Cooper Stevens judging it best for Colac. He's not just Cooper Stevens, he's Cooper Stevens.
He's been good.
He's in that Eddie Betts category where you've got to use both names. Cooper Stevens with it, just pulls it towards the boundary line, wanting less, and then he just got it there through past the hand of Blood, and then he drives a kick, wanting Garner. It's Adam, winning it to ground. He'll be first onto it, Marnie, confronted by Jaska, got a handball inboard. Walters fired it forward, that was Dusty at the bootlaces of Garner, couldn't get down low enough. Little drop kick wasn't too bad. Travellini, they will clean up for St Mary's, confronted. He's handball back into the path of Dustin Walters at Colac. McMullen shrugged off a tackle and then kicked towards half forward. Learson will sit underneath it, mark on his chest. A bit like a rugby league fullback just waiting for the high bomb to come in.
He comes inboard with the kick. Lockie Simpkin takes it right in the middle of Anthony Costa Oval. Looking for McCormack, who was running on his outside, but Dowling chopped that off pretty quick. So he comes back towards the best seats in the house. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7, finds Bailey Scott right in front of us. Kirsch can nearly touch him as he plays on. Almost. Goes with a right foot kick long towards half forward. Walsh back on the ground. Good for Colac. The other side of the pack, Keast gives it away. Maloney in trouble, out of trouble, and then goes straight to Jesse Williamson, who came on. Oh, Walters took it from him. They had three there, Colac. Williamson straight off the boundary line from the interchange bench, but Walters handballed it away quickly to Scott. Has to get past Garner. Does it? Holding the ball, and it's going to come the other way. Play on advantage. It's going to go to Jack Blood.
He got it from Damien McMahon. Blood right in front of us, driving a kick into the path of Cole. Cole looking for the footy in the air. Found it at ground level. Rennett's found him and laid a good tackle. Handball Cole on the up. No, holding the ball.
I thought he handballed it.
I thought he handballed it as well. Umpire deemed no. And the free kick goes to Rennet, who goes to the top of his defensive goal square. Hewland with it, a couple of left footers combining. Driving long kick. Oh, wonderful mark. Lang in front of Connors.
Jeez.
And he'll now kick on his right boot as he comes inboard and finds Ben McCarthy, who's got it just inside defensive 50 as we speak. He'll send it towards the scoreboard that shows a 3-point Colac lead in the shadows of three-quarter time. It's a long kick from Hewland, looking for a fly. Zybell over the top of Knott takes the mark. Zybell hits the ground quickly into the pocket, wanting Garner. Jaska with a good defensive spoil to the boundary line. Sees it out of play in the right forward pocket at the northern or city end of the ground. 23 minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. It will be a short quarter, you suspect. Just the 2 goals kicked. The margin was 1 point Colac's way at half-time. It's 3 points as we approach three-quarter time.
So throw in the Lockie Peck pocket, northern end of the ground. From behind Knott, Zybell. Garner got a kick away. Might fall for Sherman if he can keep it in the field of play. He can't. Runs out of room. The 2 number 17s there. Joffy Simpkin over there as well. They set over the line. About 45 around from the Colac goal. We will have a boundary throw in. Zybell going to do the ruck work against Knott. It's going to favour Zybell. Push Knott past the football, but Garner, just that clearing, tumbling punt towards centre wing is okay. And taken the mark Cole, who's had a good third term, plays on quickly, gets it towards an open Peck, who's wrapped up as he goes back and takes the mark anyway. Hamlin hanger style, if you don't mind, against McCormack as he was being pushed to the ground, took the grab and will shoot for goal from 45 out, slide ankle.
He's a really hard matchup, Peck, because he gets up the ground, he's quite athletic, he's really quick, and he's really good in the air, and one-on-one he's really good. So he's kind of got all the attributes. He's playing on a bloke who's also got all the attributes, and he's doing really well.
So Lockie Peck has kicked 1 this afternoon. This to give St Mary's the lead in the shadows of three-quarter time. He is at the southern end of the ground, and he's just into a breeze. In this third term, St Mary's are kicking. Has he kicked it? He's kicked it! So Lockie Peck has put his second on the board and gives the home side the lead. They go to 7-4-46. They lead Colac 6-7-43. And that is on the Harvey Norman K-Rock third quarter scoreboard. Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for your big brands at Geelong's best prices.
And this will be the worrying thing for the Colac coaches going into the three-quarter time break, is that when St Mary's do get the ball inside their forward 50, it's generally a shot on, and they're kind of kicking those goals this quarter inside their forward 50. With the breeze in the last, they've got the real job up against it now, Colac.
St Mary's lead for the first time since the 7-minute mark of the opening quarter. They kicked the opening behind of the game through Max Orgarinos, and when Garner gold for Colac, they took the lead and have only just relinquished it back in the middle. Walsh climbed high, won the tap down. Marnie, who's indistinguishable with mud all over him, got a handball on the up, kick inside 50. Joffy Simpkin, bouncing ball taken by Felikos. Quick handball release for Spokes. Wonderful pick-up. Handball to McGuan. McGuan turns and kicks, and as he got the carry, he has, but he's missed to the right, and the margin is 2. St Mary's leading there, 7-4-46. Colac now 6-8-44 as we approach 26 minutes gone on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
So Ling with the kicking and duties on this occasion. And fair to say he's going to try and put it to the outer side, which they've gone most of the afternoon. Defensively, Samaris from this end. He goes towards Knott, punched away by Walsh. It's a hold. It's going to come back to McGuan.
Margin back to 8 at the MCG.
They'll hang on.
You
watch.
called it.
They'll hang on.
At the 8-minute mark.
They'll hang on.
Oh, Jace, you went early.
They'll hang on. Go towards Walsh. Garner at the back. They've got the numbers, though. Samaris Sherman gets it away. Travellini. Kick. Dangerous. Maloney got 3 against him, and he's in trouble too. Maloney. He's down. Keep an eye on that. And the free kick is going to come back to Lang. And he's going to take the free kick as Maloney is still down on the ground.
It was a one-on-one with Learson in a marking contest.
He's up now in the hands of the trainers. Seems to be okay. But the ball...
He's going around the corner.
He's going around the corner.
Dead in front.
Lang from 30 metres out directly in front. And he's watched too much footy.
He's played a bit.
He's played a bit and he's done well because he's put it straight through the middle. Darcy Lang, quick reply. Right on the
siren to give him the lead.
For the lead at the end of the third term for Colac.
Jeez.
And they take the lead, 7-8-50. They have taken the lead and they're all going straight to Darcy Lang as well. 7-4-46 to Mary's, and that is at three-quarter time here at Anthony Costa.
But I wonder if that's maybe a run with roll, Stevens, to Jack Blood.
Might be, because Blood's sort of got on top all game.
Blood's sort of bought his own footy today.
He has, hasn't he?
Yeah, Leopold's Boys Player of the Day might be an opportunity there. Here we go, final quarter for APCO Cafe 24/7. Here's Jace.
Walsh gets it down. There is Blood straight through the middle on hands and knees. Maloney in there as well, fighting hard for it. He's recovered after that late hit on him in the third term. He's okay now. So the umpire with a secondary bounce in the middle, or a ball up. Walsh gets it down, goes to the side. Garner was there. He left it. Well, he got beaten to it in the end, and Walsh just gets a torpedo punt from the middle. He was vacant, goes out there wide. Comes to Lang, his handball, set a task. Free kick is it? Push. Yes, in the back. McGuan. Pritchard gave that away.
If you're watching the live stream and you see a bloke in number 64, that'd be Brody Marnie.
Because nobody knew what number 10 looked like on his back. So he's changed jumpers. Probably pretty heavy carrying that jumper with all the mud around on the back of it. But Jake McGuan, who hasn't kicked a major this afternoon, this would be a massive start for the visitors. They lead by 4. He comes in now. He's at the southern end of the ground, 40 metres out in the left half-forward flank, and drives it long as it got the distance. Bell goes up and off his hands in the end and through for one behind. In fact, it touched the behind post. So, Sackside Bell.
He was as high as the goalpost.
Nearly bought rain. 7-9-51 Colac. Samaris 7-4-46. Minute and a half played final term. APCO Cafe 24/7 K-Rock scoreboard.
Travellini goes very, very long towards the outer wing, looking out there for a mark. Went through the hands of Knott. Walsh was there, kick that was partially smothered, ended up with the number 64 Marnie. Bouncing ball inside forward 50 for Colac. Jaska was there for Samaris, couldn't take it. Travellini was clean, handball to Blood. Cooper Stevens that's holding the ball.
Good tackle.
Well, that's turned into being a good little Wombat Gully Clan Farm matchup that might reap some dividends with the decision to send Stevens to Blood in this final quarter. And Cooper Stevens playing just his second game at senior level this year. He had some injury issues early in the year while he was at Carlton. Couple of runs in the reserve grade team, and now in the senior side for his second appearance, and a chance for a very important goal. The kick from just inside 50, got close to the man on the mark. He got every piece of the kick. Has it got the carry? Touched on the line is the decision. Through for a minor score. The margin is 6. 7-10-52 now, Colac.
Don't say
St Mary's 7-4-46. Could we have a draw on a Saturday afternoon between the top two?
2 long points.
Ling kicks it in. Good kick too. Finds Knott, who gives it away to Pritchard. Left foot kick down towards Dowling over his head. Getting back is Simpkin Lockie. Oh, he's surrounded though. Harry McMahon comes towards Peck. McCormack across half back. Heard the call. Got it to Simpkin. He goes to Marnie. Handball on the outside to Yulin. Has to get it forward now to Simpkin. John So Joffe goes with a right foot kick from half forward inside. Jaska read it the better in front of McGuan, took the mark across half back and wants to switch the play quickly towards Blood, who takes the mark.
You just want to take Jaska home for a feed. There's nothing of him. The kick came from Blood. It was down at the bootlaces of Peck. He couldn't take it. McCormack dived on the footy. Peck dived on him on the glue pot. Umpire circling, says, give it to me, I'll ball it up.
It's a tough one there for McCormack, whether he picks it up or just keeps kicking it off the ground.
It might have been better just to see if he could get some hack into it and send it forward 25 metres from the ruck contest. Not might have won the tap down as he went to ground. Blood's underneath it all again. Stevens is going to try and wear him like a blanket for the next 25 minutes. And we'll get another ball up. So umpire again will go at it and toss it into the air. Umpire Clark, we believe that is. Not winning the tap down. Newland, the roving though for Colac. His handball was partially smothered, but got to Simpkin. That's holding the ball. Tried to take him on, and there's the advantage paid. Maishman gave a handball quickly to Jared Garner. Under pressure kick, double-fisted spoil. Oh, almost could have been taken as a mark by Reynolds. We'll find it at ground level now, but there's a bit going on with a hold. And it's going to go to St Mary's, and it's going to go to Matty Keast.
Keast now has got Peck in the pocket. Goes in that direction, and he takes it, the big fella. It's in the non-Lockie Peck pocket, though. In the left forward pocket at the northern end of the ground. Is that the Foo Fighters end as well?
It is the Foo Fighters.
Nice.
Yeah, but they didn't have the stage out here.
Right,
We might have rehearsed out here.
See, it's the Foo Fighters rehearsal end.
Righto.
On Anthony Costa Oval. Just go with us, Kirsch. It's okay. It's all right. It's getting late. So Peck to bring the scores level. He's going to do it Darcy Lang style as he walks around the corner. Right foot kick, and he has missed that and nearly everything, I think. In fact, he has kicked it straight across the face of goal, out of bounds on the full.
80 apiece, Collingwood, North Melbourne.
But I'm out of the box.
Jason Mosdem.
21 minutes gone.
7 minutes left in that game.
Yeah.
Kangas. Do something.
So the kick comes towards half-back for Colac. Walsh flying, but can't mark. Knocked away into the path of Bailey Scott, who jams it on the boot just forward of the wing. They'll compete. Garner from behind had to knock it away from Sprague. Pritchard there for St Mary's, lost it in the tackle. Fell for Adam Garner. Garner's kick over the top, asking Zybel to run onto it in a one-on-one. Well played. Sprague knocked it away from him, but only into the path of Dustin Walters, who dived on it. Then it was stolen away again by Sprague. Created something out of nothing for Travellini. Travellini, though, under pressure's kick as he pulled it back to half-back. He's marked by Cooper Stevens for Colac.
So Stevens pointed the centre square at half 40. Goes now with a right foot kick. Long. Where are the jumpers? Nobody there. It's on hands and knees. Lang front and centre was good. Right foot kick around the corner. No way! Has kicked the goal. Darcy Lang kicks his second. And from nothing at the front of the pack, as you would expect. Colac has kicked their eighth. 8-10-58. They lead St Mary's 7-4-46. APCO Cafe 24/7. K-Rock scoreboard.
That wasn't just a kick around the corner. He actually had to use his left hand to fend off the defender, whilst keep balanced and screw that around his left shoulder.
Just a normal Saturday afternoon for Darcy.
Degree of difficulty high, Jason.
High.
The cream rises to the top.
Doesn't it? What, Kingy? And what I'm enjoying today is we've seen so many torpedo attempts. It's like old school.
Jared Garner's just doing it all the time.
Territory game. Just
Absolutely,
get the ball forward on a
is.
day like this.
Wow.
Not and Walsh to go at it. What's the response from St Mary's? Walsh winning the tap down this time, and a chance for Gorwell on the up, the handball to Joffe Simpkin, who kicks on his non-preferred left, floats it towards left half forward. Having to play spoiler was Dustin Walters. It's spilled for Sherman of St Mary's. Gave it to Travellini, who gave a handball to Jared Garner, who gave a handball back to Damien McMahon. Right half back past the scoreboard. He kicks, went through the hands of Cole. Cole, though, found it on the ground. Handball inboard for Keast. Keast can drive a kick long. Dowling at the back. Dowling flew early. Umpire will pay a free kick against him to Melican. It just missed time the lead. He goes short with a kick. Melican, the skipper of Colac, to Gorwell.
He's been good, Gorwell, all day.
He's a good player. He was third in their best and fairest last year.
He's been real good.
Kick on the bounce. McCarthy, that's Ben. A handball over the top to Bailey Scott. Scott to McCormack. McCormack back inboard to McCarthy. McCarthy to the outside of the right boot. Well weighted to Williamson. They got numbers 40 if he can get it onto Simpkin, but he's held up and has to wait.
He's got McGuan short over the top, but he can't find him, so he goes back inboard. And it's okay, they play on quickly. A short little kick from Stevens there. He found McGuan, who kept travelling down the half-forward flank with nobody next to him, and he took the mark and will shoot the goal from 45 out.
Collingwood by a point.
I'll tell you something. Jack Blood's struggling to go with Stevens at the moment because Stevens is running. But the last one, he was because Stevens has been involved in the last two, and he actually runs forward really hard. Stevens.
I thought the same thing, and then turned and looked and got, Jack's just standing in front.
But the last one before that, Stevens had that shot on. Yeah, he's just run so hard forward to the ball.
So McGuan, who's kicked 3 behinds this afternoon, this to give Colac an 18-point lead. And he comes in with a right foot kick, and he has kicked a goal straight through the middle. Jake McGuan has kicked his first. And when you need them, they stand up. The experienced players at the Colac Tigers, 9-10-64. They lead St Mary's 7-4-46. APCO Cafe, 24-7 K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Well, I'll tell you what, we thought it might have been the advantage St Mary's at three-quarter time with that slight breeze, but Colac's ball use by foot at the moment and keeping possession in their uncontested game is elite. At the moment, they are just maintaining possession, then they're shifting St Mary's around, and they're really struggling to go with them, particularly forward half.
Collingwood 81, North Melbourne 80, 25 minutes gone. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock at the MCG. It's the only AFL game this afternoon. Gold Coast and Richmond at 4:35. Walsh climbing high, winning the tap at Maloney, the roving. Kick went up the shot tower. Went 15, big spoil from behind Williamson. Here's Maloney cleaning up at the front. Jammed it on the boot and rolled it inside forward 50. Orgarinos got a palm on it. Wonderful hands, Peck. Back to Orgarinos. Orgarinos straightens. Orgarinos goals. But you cannot take away from the effort there of Peck. The little handball was just sublime. It was as quick as a flash, and Orgarinos has kicked his second of the afternoon, and the margin is quickly back to 12. And there's still plenty of time left in this one. We're 9.5 minutes gone in the final term. 8-4-52 St Mary's, 9-10-64 Colac. So the margin at 12 points in this final term, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7.
And again, that's what we like about these differing forward lines. You know, it's very dangerous inside their forward half, and they can just create something out of nothing. And that was just a nice little deft handball, and away goes the skill of Orgarinos.
Don't be surprised if Paddy Dowling has a say in this final 15 minutes.
Yes, we saw McGuan do.
Collingwood 7 points up. Ball, David Noble sacked. And the ball comes from the middle again.
You've heard it first.
You've heard it first. And the umpire will come in and ball it up again. And you can't be 26 points up at three-quarter time and get done. Come on, doesn't matter who you are. So ball up in the middle, not.
Broke down by 22.
Walsh gets it down. McMahon, Harry tracks it back, tried to get the kick away, got smothered. Now Sherman. Little kick was perfect to Travellini. Sorry about the corner of his eye at half-back, and he's taken the mark for St Mary's.
It's got a little bit of momentum here, haven't they, St Mary's? They've wrestled it back.
Travellini, left half-back, sends it towards centre half forward. Notzi's target. Spoil from behind was good by Simpkin, but only into the path of Cole of St Mary's. Cole, one-on-one, Dowling. Good spoil, Malikan. Only into the path of Cole again, who jammed it on his left boot forward. Malikan, though, paid the mark. Barely went 15, but Malikan paid. And then laterally he goes to Spokes, just inside defensive 50. Right back pocket, wants the corridor, onto the chest of Williamson. And the Cobden recruit has got it, but he's a long way from home. He's called to play on. He'll bring it towards our broadcast position, and Maloney has marched strongly in front of Marnie. Like those two going head-to-head. Maloney wants the 50-metre penalty. Kicks now, sends it towards half forward, and that's a wonderful kick onto the chest of Knott. And Knott has got it, but he's a long way from home. Dowling presents to the pocket, and so too, I think it might be Harry McMahon. It's Sorgiavani. Sorgiavani has got it in the left forward pocket. Tight angle. Tough kick from there. Would need to start at left goal post and work it across the face, so it would test him as not hobbling towards the boundary line, but he's never, we'd say free of movement. Yeah. He's rocked hard today. Sorgiavani on its way. Not a bad effort. What a wonderful effort from the youngster. His first goal at GFL senior level, and what a time to bring it up, and what a way to do it. With the breeze working against him, he's able to fade it from left-hand to right-hand goalpost, and the margin is back to 6. And Josh Sorgiavani with a goal to remember in just his third GFL senior game. 9-4-58 now St Mary's. It's back to 6. Colac 9-10-64. Strap yourselves in.
What a next 16 minutes we've got ahead of us. This has happened a few times where Colac have got out to a couple of goal break, and then St Mary's have wrestled that momentum back, and now it's Colac's challenge to get back into this game.
Back to the middle. Walsh goes up, gets it down. Rove by Maloney. Also blood in there as a throw. Pushing the back, said the umpire. So going St Mary's way. And Jack Blood gets entangled with Henry Walsh but gets the handball away. Harry McMahon with a inside-out torpedo punt towards half forward. McCormack gets back there, handball over the top. Back to Malikan, off a step. Oh, straight into Max Orgarinus' mid-drift, and he's still over. I think he might have to count him. Bow and handball over the top. And he's in a bit of trouble still there, Orgarinos, but the boundary throw-in will happen about 50 around from the St Mary's goal. It is 6 points the difference, and we've played 13 and a half in this final term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel.
Collingwood by 8 points, and they'll probably get the job done now at the MCG. Walsh winning the tap down. Dowling came through, couldn't take it. Walsh picked up the loose footy. Handball was errant. Maishman took too many on. He went through the pack, and then Marnie and Gorwell gobbled him up like Pac-Man. And it's Marnie who'll take the resultant free kick inside defensive 50, and crisis averted there for Colac through the actions of Marnie, who must be in contention for Leopold Sporty's player of the day. Kick to the wing, Garner. Jaska, good spoil with that long reach. Blood almost threw it up to Maloney. Maloney to Garner at close quarters. Drives a kick into the left forward pocket. Cole stretching and Cole marking. Just too much toe for McCormack in that one-on-one. And Cole has taken the mark. Left forward pocket. Tight angle. He would have to come out on the J curve. A drop punt won't get it done from there. And he's going to come out on that J curve. This to tie the scores. Cole snaps. Cole has kicked a wonderful goal. And we are all tied up. And we are getting a clash befitting of 1v2. This is going the distance. It's 64 apiece. St Mary's 10-4. Playing 9-10 over Colac here at Anthony Costa Oval. Final term, APCO Cafe 24-7. And in 6 minutes, they've arrested an 18-point deficit to tie things up. Goals to Peck, Sorgiovanni and Cole, and we are locked away at 64.
This is where their experienced players of Colac now need a lift. Leeson, Marnie in there, Gorwell. They've just got to lift now because they've got to get that momentum. We spoke about momentum. It's a huge thing in football. Now they've got to wrestle it back right this moment now while the scores are level.
So back to the middle. 15 played final term. Zybel in the ruck. Up against Christensen. So middle stages of the term, so we've seen the change in the ruck contest. And they go up and Christensen gets it down. Ballard handball. Off a step, Garner's kick was partly smothered. Goes towards Cole. Ball back towards Maloney off a step. Right foot tumbling punt inside 50. It's a 2-on-2. Sorgiovanni gets there first again. He gets ragdolled. He gets rid of the football. Then he brings it back. Then he's dropped it. The umpire says it'll be a free kick to Colac.
Well, had to pay it the third time.
Yeah. I was going to say he missed the first couple.
Missed the first couple. He gave him plenty of opportunities.
He did, didn't he?
And the ball will come back to Malikan. And he's going to play on, and they're going to go along the line towards Zybel. Also, Garner has got his hands on Jaska in front. Christensen gave it to Zybel in the end. Oh, he got that little toe poke away, which might be okay. Handball on the inside to Stevens, who goes with a tumbling punt. Oh, McMullen reads it the better. Will he be able to get across there and pick it up? He can. A clearing kick towards centre wings. Okay. And across there defensively on centre wing is Damien McMahon.
McMahon with it, just back of the wing out of side. He'll drive a kick towards half forward, fly from Blood. It went over his head and it's landed safely on the chest of Jared Garner, who gave a handball to the St Mary's skipper. Blood into the pocket. Peck, best position in the Peck pocket. He takes the mark and a chance to give his team the lead.
Doesn't miss from here, Kingy. It's his pocket.
Just like North Melbourne's going to win.
Yeah, that's right. It's his pocket.
Margin is 7 at the MCG, but there can't be long left. There's 33 minutes played in that contest. And here we have got a contest. And this for a 6-point St Mary's lead. It'd be their biggest lead of the afternoon. The game is on the boot of Lockie Peck. He's kicked 2 this afternoon. This for number 3. He never misses from this pocket, and he doesn't this time either. 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the last. And the Saints lead by 6. They're 11-4-70. Colac at 9-10-64. We've gone 17 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferry time clock in this final term of K-Rock football.
Yeah. They're not getting the momentum back at the minute, are they, Jason?
They win in the middle, aren't they?
They are, and that's where they're getting
Blood,
it.
Maloney.
Yeah, and
get their hands on it.
like those last 2 by Blood has been just slick, quick hands, and you know, we talked about the experience is going to rise. Well, that's what's happened to St Mary's. St Mary's experience have really got them on top here, and that's what's got them back in front of this game.
Heartbreak for the Kangaroos. It's Collingwood 88 defeating North Melbourne 81 full time at the MCG.
John Blakey back in the middle. Christensen. Zybel gets it down. Rove now through the middle, Simpkin, handball over the top. Might be okay, Walters gets it back. And the ball now from Stevens. Got around on the right foot and just torped it forward. Felikos front and centre, wrapped up by Pritchard straight away. As he fallen on it, the umpire says no. And he's going to ball it up 50 out from the Colac goal. 6 points of difference here, St Mary's 70, Colac 64, ball up. And now Christensen gets it to the side. Maloney breaks a couple of tackles, gave it to Jaska, set him a task. He's wrapped up straight away by Walters. And we will have another ball up, about 35 out from the Colac goal.
Grovedale by 14 over West and Newtown by 3 over Leopoldo. That score hasn't moved for a while between the Eagles and the Lions at Memorial Park. Tap down in the ruck, done by Christensen. Hands and knees, Stevens up to Simpkin, somehow released it off. Dusty Walters, not a bad effort, but has missed to the near side. Through for a minor score. Might turn out to be a handy point, though, down the track as Walters puts it through for his first score of the afternoon. It's a minor one, though, and the margin is 5. Inaccurate, Colac, 9-11-65. St Mary's 11-4-70 at the 19-minute mark of the final term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Port Phillip Ferry's, there's no better way to travel.
Pritchard will kick it in, go with the left foot, long and high. Might just sit up a bit though. Oh, Pack comes in, third in line. Says, get out of the way, I'm taking the mark, and does. Back end of centre wing. Drives it along that wing position with a beautiful kick to Knott. And the two big blokes combined here for St Mary's. He's got it forward on centre wing now, on the outer side. He's got Sherman who runs past. Gets it off a step, goes inside 50 with the kick. Dowling on a lead, punched away defensively. Great play by Melican, who has shadowed him all afternoon when he's been forward. Paddy Dowling, and we'll have a boundary throwing 50 around from the St Mary's goal. They're 5 points up, 70 playing 65, 20 played, final term.
Time on upon us, 19:55 played. Ball back into play. Christensen, Zybell, Christensen from behind the ruck work. Handball, Keast to Sherman, back to Keast. Keast fired it forward into the path of Harry McMahon, who walked straight into a two-man tackle, but he got one high. According to the umpire, it'll be a free kick for Harry McMahon, potentially to give the Saints an 11-point lead. So Harry McMahon with an opportunity here after the free kick that, didn't look to be a lot in it, but the umpire a lot closer than us and a better vantage point, so saw something that we obviously didn't see. And Harry McMahon, this would be a crucial margin as we approach 21 minutes gone. Final term at Anthony Costa Oval. St Mary's by 5 points, and McMahon looking to give the Saints an 11-point buffer, northern end of the ground. Man on the mark stands 30 from goal. McMahon with a deliberate approach on its way has missed.
Hit the post.
Has hit the woodwork, and the margin is 6, and the draw is still well and truly on the table here at Anthony Costa Oval.
So, Rennes from full-back. Plays on, goes to the outer side, looking for Hewland, and finds him too. Damien McMahon couldn't chop that off, so at half-back goes to centre wing. They want to move the ball quickly. Connor's got a hand to it, has to be good around the ball. Lang left it, now Connor's over it. Oh, he brought it back in. The umpire's going to hatch it here and say he's holding the ball. He has too, and it ended up with Jack Blood. And Dean Felikos, who gets up and gives the handball away quickly to Stevens. He goes towards half forward. McGuan, Jaska fell over, got some support. Damien McMahon, kick around the corner, kept it in. Pritchard's handball on the up to Keast off a step and goes towards centre wing. Or Bailey Scott got held on to, and advantage paid. So they keep going. Colac inside 50, but an errant kick. And it's out looking for McGuan. It's out of bounds for a throw, and about 30 around from the Colac goal.
Sun shining, the last remnants of the afternoon sun here at Anthony Costa Oval on the old Geelong Pass play stand in the left forward pocket at the southern or swimming pool end. 22 minutes ticked over. St Mary's by 6. Colac in attack, boundary throwing. Falls for Lang, who slipped over and then tackled, and umpire says, I'll ball it up. So really, when he slipped over and was landed upon, really, he's got nowhere to go. One of those bodies landing on him was Nick Knott. Lang was happy to take the tackle and get another stoppage and gives it back to the umpire.
Town 9 points up against Leopold.
He'll throw it into the air. Knott and McGuan. Knott won the tap down. Lang did the roving for Colac, I should say. And he's taking a two-man tackle, going nowhere. They'll be happy with the repeat stoppages here, St Mary's. Time off the clock. Umpire to put it into the air again. McGuan Not from behind, won the tap down into the right back pocket, attacked by Felikos, tight on the boundary line, pushed over it by Pritchard, and we'll get another stoppage, a throw in this time. Bit of push and shove taking place. Orgarinos and Marnie going at each other. Or Marnie might have given one Orgarinos to the throat. He's grabbed at that throat right now and has gone to his haunches, so he's just out of the play for the moment, and that gives Colac potentially an advantage at the stoppage.
Not takes it out of the ruck contest, handballed it to Jaska. Was that a throw? The umpire said yes, it was. And a free kick, and now it's on in the pocket. Adam Garner and Trent McMullen exchanging phone numbers with each other. Sprague in there as well.
Off to Lammies.
Off to Lamoise. Now the ball is going to come back because it's a free kick to Jake McGuan, I think, in the ruck contest. No, it's going to McMullen.
The other way.
So there you go. He pointed the wrong way. He pointed towards the Colac. But obviously the St Mary's boys knew, because they weren't all going towards the umpire. McMullen, in fact, it's not, will take the free kick and go wide with the ball. Big thump away. Colac at a 2-on-1. Falls to the front. Hewlin wheels around on the left. Back inside. Orgarinos, who miraculously has recovered from that throat injury and will settle it down for St Mary's. It's 71-65, 24 played final term.
Lazarus-like from Max in the right back pocket, driving it long to the outer wing, looking for a marking option. There's going to be a free kick paid which way. It's going to go to Colac. I'm not sure exactly what for, but either way it's with Jaron McCormack. McCormack can set it up, send it inside forward 50. Gun off from behind. Well judged, Mark McMullen. That's a Hamlin hanger contender. That's some sort of mark to back yourself to mark that in that pack over the top of the well-built Garner. That's a good grab from the Saint. He drives it long towards the outer wing. Peck off his hands. Front of the pack, Christensen, the unlikely rover, jams it on the boot, barrels it forward. Dowling, Melican. He's done all day. Discipline with the spoil and they're away.
They go now with the right foot kick out wide. They go up. Good play, Stevens. In fact, it's Walters who takes the mark. Plays on quickly on the kick off the one step. Wasn't good, and Orgarinos took the mark at half back and has taken a couple of safe marks across there in the last 30 seconds. And he just wants to settle the play down. He's playing the Travellini role, really, as we see him come back on the ground. It goes in his direction. Knott's there as well. Rennett's up front and centre. Blood puts the tackle on. And Walter's not going anywhere. Ball spills free. Garner gives it away. Travellini, they're happy to see it over for a throw-in. Centre wing, right in front of the best seats in the house, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. And St Mary's 71, Colac 65, 25 and a half played final term.
Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. There's no better way to travel. Hope you're enjoying the call as much as we are bringing it to you. Tapped down by Walsh for Colac. Front of the pack, Cooper Stevens. Wrecked up by Maloney, going nowhere. And we've got a ball up. Looking for a clear takeaway here, Colac. They're spread out. It's not huge numbers around the footy, so there are outlets if they can find them, Colac. Walsh the tap down. Orgarinos the roving low for St Mary's. Jammed it on his left boot. Bailey Scott not for the first time today, dropping a mark. Little soccer from Cole. Got it into the path of Christensen, but he goes out of bounds, and we'll get a boundary throw in. Well, either way, depending on the result, we still have two teams that I think are the clear-cut best in the comp.
Yep. Next goal wins, Jace.
No, or draws.
Or draws.
Boundary throw in. Walsh won the tap. Here's Orgarinos again, giving it to Maishman. He's kick smothered by Marnie. Tracking it to the boundary line. Keast, fumble, and then time to recover. Snap a left foot kick high inside 50. Big spoil from behind Rennett's. Garner, Sherman to put the game to bed. Sherman does, as he did against Newtown. He might have done the job one more time. He's got two, and for the second time in 3 matches, Zach Sherman may have the final say. 11, make it 12-5-77. Colac 9-11-65 as we approach 27 minutes gone in the final quarter, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7.
I'm not sure what the go was, but Maxi Orgarinos was very vocal to the Colac box just then, whether there were some choice words had. But he celebrated very hard and let them know all about it.
This will be 4 straight wins for the Saints over Colac too.
They're 18 points down, weren't they?
They are. This is a 30-point turnaround.
Back in the middle, Walsh up against Knott. Shepherd, umpire, said free kick in the ruck contest against Knott, so it's going to come back to the big fella, Walsh. He's going to take the ball, and he's got Scott running past, so he gives it to him now and goes with the right foot kick, missed the first target. And at the back, short little kick goes towards Knott. He fumbles it. Marnie's there as well. Oh, Davey McMahon kicks it from on the ground, if you don't mind. It was good too to Christensen. He thought about the handball. Got the kick out further though. Travellini tracks it, takes the bounce, and takes the ball. 55 out, sets it up. Cole has to get back. There he goes up. He can't take the mark. Off the side of the pack. Cole tried to get it foot to it, and the umpire said it was kicking in danger, and Colac are going to take the resultant free kick. They're going to go from half-back Simpkin to Lockie. They're still going to move the ball through the middle now. Learson off a step.
He sends it long. Zybell's got to come up and fly on Sherman. Was able to spoil, but Connors, front of the pack, gave it to Sprague for St Mary's. He goes wide to the skipper, Blood, and that just about might be it. They will struggle, you would think, now to kick 2 more goals. It has been a more open term in terms of goals kicked. We've actually seen 7 kicked, but you would think 30 minutes will probably pull this one up, and with only a minute and a half left, you'd suspect it's going to be tough darts from here. Blood just sends it high towards right half forward. Couldn't hang on to it long enough. Front of the pack. There's a Colac play down. Might be McCormack as the ball socket off the ground forward for the Tigers, but only in the waiting arms of Connors. Clearing kick from Sherman. Down low, Keast. Is that a mark? It is. Good little slips catch, getting the fingers underneath it. And now the old fake cramp comes in.
Wonder who he learned that off. You reckon he learned it off the old man?
Key's golf game.
Hey,
siren! St Mary's win, 12-5, 77. Colac 9-11, 65. And the Saints